Happy Hater Day, y'all. How y'all doing? Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep this theme going. Happy Hater. I should be able to come up with a couple of haters per week, don't you think? I feel like I can pull that off for show. How you guys doing? I've got a funny video to play for you. You guys know Reclaimer, right? Oh man, these people they don't really think. Is that a haircut? It is. It's a couple days old, but it's actually just a shower. Yes, I also clean myself. So he made a really silly video, and we're gonna look at it. I challenged Aaron Ra, to a debate, and I kid you not, he commented, "Meet me over at Facebook." That's what he said. He said, "Meet me over at Facebook." I was like, Are you serious? This is where we're at? No, I know that people are like, well, he's really irrelevant at this point, which he is. He's irrelevant. It's almost like kind of a joke to even consider debating him, but he's still talking. The soulless lizard boomer. But whatever. So, anyway, we're going to look at that. So we'll look at, I'm sure Reclaimer will show up in the chat. I mean, this video he made is hilarious. It's a joke. Shout out everyone who stuck around for 4 hours for Ortho Thugs last night. Pretty fun episode. He wants to fight in the metaverse. It's so weird, dude. It's just weird stuff. I don't know. It's totally weird, man. Well, I told James, I said, hey, I just straight up told him this morning, emailed James. I said, Iron Raw, evolution. Let's do it. So we'll see. Still waiting to hear back from Sean Kelly because he's going to be reaching out, if not already, to Professor Dave and Forrest Valkai, either or. Professor Dave is not an evolutionary biologist. The guy I just debated on Friday is an evolutionary biologist. Slob zombie, that's funny. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes, absolutely. Support the Jort. Get your Hater Day haul in, please. I didn't stream yesterday, so, it's on you to make it up for me. Anyway, let's just take a look what we're dealing with here. Mr. Simpich, thank you so much. What are the review movies? Under the Silver Lake and The Killer. Under the Silver Lake and The Killer. So there's that. Dave probably won't because you'll actually be mean in return. I hope he does. What a douchebag he is. Total douchebag. All right. Let's get into this. Shall we? Shall we? Should we? I mean, maybe. All right, let's go. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. All right, watch, dude. This is so funny. Reclaimer, are you here? I hope you're here for this. I really do hope you're here for this. Is Ra going to debate you? Well, he said, meet me over at Facebook. I laughed at that. He literally said, meet me over at Facebook. I'll show you pictures. What? Ra would crush me on evolution. Nobody can crush me on evolution. It has nothing to do with me, Electric Bike Jesus. Evolution doesn't work, dude. Dude, it's so crazy that Electric Bike Jesus, I forgot his other name he goes by. What is it? I already forgot his name. He goes around and pre-subs people, right? Electric Bike Jesus does. I mean, someone who's running pre-sup against atheism but affirms evolution is hilarious to me. You crushed me on evolution? No, you didn't. When you called in, you actually conceded that there's no real scientific method, dude. P. Mars, do you remember? You literally conceded. You said there is no real scientific method. We don't know. That's the end, bro. What's up, Giovanni? Giovanni. Speaking of debate, Scud is coming together. I think later today, hopefully, I'll get maybe Austin Titilio if you're in the chat, and maybe someone else I'll give you guys the link, and you guys can be the stand-in test interlocutors so we can sort of get our visuals and tech going. So that'll be cool. PMARS is the lowest tier. Very, very low tier. Anyway, let's get moving on this. This is hilarious. This is Reclaimer. He's one of my haters, and we're going to love him.
So I went on our favorite Christo-fascist, white nationalist
I'm not a white nationalist.
Jim Bob's channel a few days ago, and we had
way to start off with absolute well poisoning, you maggot.
Some fun. And
what is a scud? Wait, you guys don't know what a scud is yet? You asking what a scud is? A scud is a
savage carnage, unlimited debate.
That's what scud is. That's what scud is. Jim Bob doesn't even read. That's not an argument, putz. Keep it up, P. Mars.
He really thinks he's got something with this logic.
Listen to this statement. I mean, every statement is so nice here. I mean, this is only a 13-minute video, but he just gives so many juicy comments. Listen to this comment. Watch this.
He really thinks he's got something with this logic. His worldview. He's got it all figured out. The logic is the only way to think, and it all leads to God.
Yeah, he just said logic is the only way to think, as if that's controversial. Reclaimer says. Jim Bob, this guy thinks logic is the only way. Let's do it in slow-mo, our favorite. Let's do it in the way we know how, huh? Let's do it. 0.5? Yeah, that earned a 0.5, don't you think?
The logic is the only way to think.
The logic is the only way to think. I mean, how could I? I mean, how could I take it that far, you guys?
And it all leads to God.
Yes. Logic is the only way to think, and it all leads to God.
And I'm going to play part of
he really thinks logic is the only way to think.
Of his live stream, and we're going to just dunk on him. But I want to make...
I think that logical. He's going to dunk on me. I can't wait.
a larger point. This isn't just petty revenge. This is...
Way to out yourself.
I don't know if we...
Wait a second. You just admitted it's partially petty revenge? This isn't just petty revenge.
We can live on the same planet with these people.
How do you live on the same planet with these people? These people, you're talking about people with a theistic or Christian mindset? You mean the people who built civilization? I can't believe we have to live on the same planet as the people who built civilization.
I'm scared. We are cooked as a society. It's just gotten worse since Trump.
Oh, gosh.
These Christians are out of control, but...
We're out of control.
We're
out of control. You know, assassinating people left and right.
Jim Bob is in his Candace Owens era, where comets and space and water's fake and gay.
I didn't say water's fake. Space, mostly fake and gay. I didn't say water's fake.
Let's take a listen.
Why don't they just say that? Why do they need this magical moment where comets deliver the ocean? They actually believe this. People like Reclaimer believe their paradigm says, how did we get the oceans? Comets, individual comets. Even though we've never seen a comet actually hit the Earth, a buttload of comets delivered some form of hydrogen and water to the Earth that made up how many gallons? Do we even know how many gallons? This is so funny. He really doesn't think before he makes these things. He doesn't think before he thinks. Watch this.
Wow.
He did the atheist sigh. Listen to this. So my question is, hey, that's a really weird assumption. Transportation, cosmic transportation for water. I'm skeptical, right? Listen to his answer to this.
Okay. Yeah, why do we believe this story that the earth, oceans, and lakes, the water we have came from outer space?
Okay, that's a claim about transportation. Focus, other atheist retards. The claim is transportation. Listen to his justification.
It's just crazy. I mean, comets, right? Comets are fake and gay. Look on the screen here. I mean, we can just end this list at Neptune, guys. You can fit 54 Earths inside of Neptune, and it's nothing but ice. It's
in other words, water in a current state. Correct. So if you guys, obviously my chat is like 10 times smarter than this guy, but do you guys see how funny this is already? My question is, wait a second, Earth has water, and why would you assume there's a transportation system between different things to get water to Earth? His answer, there's other places that have a lot of water. Hey, Reclaimer, the same question would be posited to that Neptune then, dummy. Oh, Jim Bob, you're so crazy for thinking that, water couldn't be transported, cosmically. I mean, have you seen? Look, Neptune has water. Yeah, how did Neptune get water then? See what I'm saying? Like, if your explanation of how a thing got water is it got it from another place, he looks to another place and he says that has water. Well, dude, that still applies to Neptune now. How did Neptune get water? The same idea, comets, right? You dumb shit.
It's water and ice. Gee, and he's talking about how many gallons are in our stupid, paltry little oceans. Look at our solar system. You don't even have to go far, Jim Bob. You freaking like, how can you be this ignorant?
Ignorant to what? We're talking about transportation systems.
Look at our own.
Hey, look, how could you be so ignorant? There's a thing out there that we think has a lot of water, and there's a lot of things out there that we think have water. Duh. Clearly it transported it. Yeah, how?
Own solar system. These are there's categories here. Large ice planets that might clue you in. Then we have large ice moons. By the way, these moons are just, as big or...
This is pathetic for an atheist. Yeah, it's really bad. He's just saying there's more water. Okay? So, let's pretend you were on Neptune. Let's pretend you're on Neptune and you said, how did we get all this water here, dummy? And he goes, what do you mean? Earth has water.
Half as big as Earth. No big deal. And they're just
352 quintillion gallons of water got transported. Yeah, I'm asking, yeah. What's the transportation method? He says there's other places with water. That's like saying, okay, how was this corn transported to this state? And he goes, there's places with corn.
Nothing but water. All of these are water. Yeah. I mean, how could we think this?
How could you think what? You think what? Hey, Reclaimer, you dummy. The question is transportation, the claim of transportation. That's what's in question.
Neptune and Uranus just settles the debate.
It settles the debate. Okay, Neptune and Uranus has water. Earth has water. How did we get water? Neptune and Uranus has water. Excellent debate strategy, Reclaimer.
Period. Oh, and Uranus, the planet, not the hole you wish Jesus would come visit you in.
He actually thought that was going to be a good joke. Water, the oceans are. They delivered that. So let me get this straight. He didn't think before he thought. Yeah, he didn't think before he made the video. At all. I mean, this should be deleted. Honestly, Reclaimer, you should delete. You should actually, I'm not even being rhetorical here. You should actually delete this. The Earth, gravity formed a giant ball, right, from smaller balls, and maybe there were some collisions, and then the Earth was like a molten lava ball, and then water was delivered by comets to a hot ball. And against all of the laws that would produce evaporation, it somehow dominated the ball. I can't wait. I didn't even hear this part. I can't wait to hear this story.
This isn't even funny. This is
Yeah. Just get to the explanation.
painful. I feel, but you know what? I started this video hating this guy. I got to be honest, Jim Bob. I freaking hate you.
That's fine. Can you get to the part where water is delivered accidentally to the Earth, please?
Like, you know, I'm not a Christian. I don't have to be a good person. I hate you. Okay. Now I feel really sad.
That's great. Let's get to the explanation.
I don't know. A 4-year-old watching an hour of PBS understands this. Dude.
Understands what?
It's called the water circle.
It's called the water circle. It's called the water circle, you guys. How did the Earth get initial water? It's called the water circle. I don't even think it's called the water circle. I think it's called the water cycle. I don't think it's called the water circle. I'm pretty sure it's called the water cycle. There's time to delete this, but not after now. Like, this part's in my stream now, forever. But I mean, you're running up against time here. The water circle.
Against laws that evaporate water. Hey, class, what happens on Earth when our water evaporates?
That's starting with water, dummy. We're not talking about what are the laws once the Earth has water. We're talking about... We're talking about how the Earth got water. He's like, look, once the Earth has water, this is the water circle.
What would you say if I told you I was mentally retarded?
The water circle. No. The water cycle is how we understand how the Earth, with its existing water, manages to recycle its water. That's not what we're talking about, dummy.
Where does it go? Does it go to heaven? No, you dumb shit. It condensates, it turns into clouds, it rains back on Earth.
Yeah, I know that. We're not talking about the cycle.
Some of it escapes, yes, not much.
We're talking about how you initially got it.
But I can't believe I have to explain this. Dude, again, this okay, I want to bring it back to not just being mean. This is the guy who swears that the laws of logic are the only way to think.
This guy, me, swears that the laws of thought are the only way to think. Is it a Christian doing parody? Is it a Christian doing parody? Please tell me. PBS, The Water Circle, coming to Uranus this corn season. Can we just get that statement again, please?
Are the only way to...
I gotta hear that again.
This is the guy who swears that the laws of logic are the only way to think. And I understand evolution.
That's really not the own that you think it is, buddy. The affirmative that the laws of logic are required, a necessary precondition for thinking. Is there another way to think, Reclaimer?
Fine. You know, I get it. It's super complex. Doesn't make sense. This is not quantum physics or evolution. This is as simple as our world gets. And his epistemological...
Epistemological. Epistemolecule? Wait, what did he say? It's like Christmas.
Epistemological, ontological, Aristotle, laws of logic. You gotta ground everything. He can't understand water, evaporation, gravity.
The people who, quote, study gravity admit that they don't understand it.
Kids who, spend an hour watching PBS.
More PBS. PBS fallacy.
What is water? H2O. It's
Yes.
2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen.
That's right.
Now, us stupid methodological naturalists, we're the dumbest people. I might look and say, okay, we have a lot of water in the solar system and on Earth, according to Jim Bob,
That's right.
Incomprehensible amounts.
Yep.
What are the common elements in the solar system? Oh, right off the bat, hydrogen is the most abundant.
I didn't ask whether or not hydrogen exists. I asked, how is it we got our oceans if you're claiming it was delivered by comets?
Like 75% of all baryonic particles are hydrogen. And, hey, coming up in third place, it's oxygen. Gee, all this water corresponds exactly to the most abundant elements in the universe.
Yeah. The question is how you got them there. It's like, sounds like a Tony bit. Yeah, it sounds like Tony's doing I'm like, Tony, be my opponent real quick.
But here's what's worse. This isn't a rant on Christians. Even if we grant him that God created the raw materials, he still is too stupid. He has no toolkit, no logical, common sense toolkit to put 2 and 2 together and make an obvious empiric argument that nobody should find controversial.
What's the empiric argument? What's an empiric argument? What's the empiric argument?
How is this controversial? What is going on with Christianity today?
What?
Okay, moving on.
See you later, Richie. Appreciate you. So that was step 1. So the first question was, you guys believe that comets, against all odds and all observation, delivered tiny bits of water independently, like a cosmic Uber system. Uber Eats for space delivered the water. And I go, wait, you believe that comets delivered all this water? He says, yeah. I go, I don't see any evidence of that. I don't know why you would think that. He says, look, there's other planets and things that have water. Yeah, I'm sorry, Reclaimer, but the same question applies to those planets then. How do they get their water? From other planets now? So look, you know what you have to think? This is insane. You have to think that if the water we have on Earth was delivered by comets, then the water on these other planets that have water were also delivered by comets. Then I'd ask, how did the comets get the water? And then you have to say, other comets delivered water to comets. That's what they believe. And it's like, they need this story of how this all comes together. And like the previous comment said,
Okay, but maybe we're being too harsh. Our beliefs are stupid.
yeah, this is Reclaimer, yeah. Yep.
And he has he has a better explanation. I mean, he's got the laws of logic on his side, which is the only way to think. It's the only worldview that's valid.
Using logic, yeah, if something's valid, it would be logical. Yes, a worldview that was valid would be logical. This guy thinks the only worldview that's valid would be logical.
So let's hear.
And this is a guy who starts his stream by saying, I can't believe we have to coexist with these people. Let's just hear it again. I want to make sure Reclaimer knows what he's saying here. Let's do it in slow-mo again, because I can't believe he keeps restating this. Out of all the things you could restate, it's not. This is the one thing you shouldn't keep saying.
Laws of logic on the side, which is the only way to think. It's the only worldview that's valid.
Valid assumes logic.
So let's hear, let's hear the, the alternative theory. If comets are fake and gay, I want to hear how Jim Bob thinks, these things happen in.
Yeah, I believe that the universe as it is, including water circles, were created. That's what I think. I think Neptune, the way you're observing it, was created. I don't think it was created by other things that have no intent or purpose towards systems. Accidentalism, okay? That's clear. It's all, even if you just said God done it, that's what's so funny. They're all, oh, you just say God did it. It's still more rational to just say that. Even if you just said God did it, it's a better position than accidentalism.
The theistic worldview.
I believe that God is responsible for the world. Are you asking for a naturalistic explanation?
No, I'm asking for a theistic one because
I
that's
believe
that's the side you
God
adopted.
created from his free will, he spoke into existence the world.
Could you explain how God created the world?
Supernaturally.
That's not an explanation.
Yeah, explanation would assume post-creation physics. These people, like they really deserve the lives that they have. You know what I mean? Like asking for a, quote, explanation. Explanations are post-creation.
It's a claim.
Yeah, that was singularly impressive. This is Jim Bob. This fucking
He's so mad.
flannel shirt wearing, tough
Flannel shirt wearing?
talking, bearded dude
That's right. Chad.
that will.
That's right. That's right. I'm a Chad. They call me a Chad. Listen in his voice. He has such a personal, it's such a deep personal connection to his hatred for me.
Flannel shirt wearing, tough. This fucking flannel shirt
His weird, awkward laughs, dude.
wearing, tough talking, bearded dude that will just, he'll just Jordan Peterson the hell out of you, man. Well, you can't define water
I didn't say you can't define water.
because water has to have meaning, and
Nothing I've said even close to that.
meaning inspires purpose. What is the purpose of water? What are all these balls floating around full of water? But to say float, we can't just grant that. You can't just grant yourself floating in space. That has to be grounded in an epistemological, ontological syllogism or something. Dude, Go. I don't want to get my channel banned. So
Oh yeah, God forbid you got your 16 subscriber channel banned.
wow.
Yeah, protect it with all your might.
You have nothing.
Oh no! I got my literally 16 subs, all from my channel.
All your bullying and tough guy talk and you know you're oh so smart. You don't understand. I can't. Please, somebody help. Okay.
You're mumbling. You're a mumbling mess, dude. You can't even speak a coherent sentence. I mean, this guy he's flabbergasted. He's tongue-tied. He's embrangled. He's mystified.
Please, somebody help me impress upon him.
He's giggling. He doesn't know. He doesn't even know what he believes.
How basic this stuff is.
Yeah. Please impress it upon me how basic it is. I think that a valid worldview needs to be logical. I think the laws of logic and being logical is the only way to think.
And he's failing. This is not naturalist worldview stuff.
What? That's not even an argument. That's not even an argument.
This is. Can you put 2 and 2 together and understand how the most basic? This is beyond basic.
What is beyond basic? He doesn't even know what he's referring to. This is why you can't be a failure of a dad. This is what it produces. Failures of dads produce these kind of children. Yeah, totally.
Jim Bob. Epistemological ontological. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Vagine.
I don't know. I think babies are born knowing this shit. Somewhere in the DNA. Oh, the mind. I'm sorry, Jim Bob. I won't say brain. I'll say mind. Somewhere in the mind.
No, other way around. You can't say mind. You mean brain.
Babies know more than you.
Babies know more than me. That's it? Really? That's it? They ground their justification in their epistemolecules. Right. Yep.
Fuckwit.
Fuckwit. That's it? That's all you got? Delivered that. So let me get this straight. The Earth, gravity formed a giant ball, right, from smaller balls. And maybe there were some collisions.
Ball
and then
theory.
the Earth was like a molten lava ball. And then water was delivered by comets to a hot ball.
Yep.
And against all of the laws that would produce evaporation, it somehow dominated the ball. That there was enough water comet Uber Eats delivery services in space, even though the likelihood of them hitting the Earth without water. Yeah, so like for him to appeal to the water circle, for him to appeal to his water circle, for that to make sense, the Earth would have to be fully formed the way it is. But they don't believe that. They believe that it's an accumulative process. And if the water circle was the first lawful thing to happen once water was delivered, you would need all of that water. The water circle doesn't give you more of it. It's that's why it's called a cycle. They all hit with water. That's why Andrew says thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Amen to that. Absolutely. All of them. They all delivered water consistently. They just added to the volume of water.
They added.
See you later, Richie. Appreciate you.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up.
Yeah, wrap what up? Wrap what up? What did we get? Neptune has water, therefore there's a transportation system that I didn't define. Jim Bob thinks thinking needs to be logical. And some name calling, and that's it.
And you know what I want, I'm losing faith in humanity.
Yeah, that's your problem to begin with. Your faith is in humanity.
Because it wasn't just Jim Bob. His whole chat, which he
Oh, he's so butthurt.
brags about, he says I'm not on their level. The whole chat was like, yeah, fuck comets. Comets are gay. If the water came from comets, how is there still comets?
That's not what we said.
You know, or what?
What? That is not even close.
They're all like,
This is a good one. Reclaimer retard. Listen to this. If we use comets we observe today, it would take 0.5 to 1.1 billion impacts, billion, of a typical 4-kilometer comet. But that's how many, right? That's how many, but also they would all have to hit. So it's not just the amount required, it's the amount that need to have water plus the amount that would actually, that had water in some way, hit, right? Plus they would have to be big enough that they didn't crush the earth. So this is what's so funny about it. Here's the earth. Here's comets delivering water. They actually have to be small enough to deliver the water without completely cracking the earth in half. That's how they think the moon was formed. That the earth was bigger, something hit it, and it broke off a piece of the earth and it became the moon, eventually becoming very beautifully spherical, right? So that's what's crazy is like the amount of comets, if you granted them the comets, they have to be small enough that now you increase the unlikelihood by specifying and specializing the size of the comet. Now it needs to be a type of comet that has water, but also doesn't completely annihilate the earth, and there has to be a lot of those, and the water that it delivers has to basically maintain its state.
Cheering him on. I mean, this is Christianity. I refuse.
It's not even Christianity, dude. We didn't appeal to anything. Notice how I didn't say God done it in order to refute or put into question the comet delivery system theory.
I refuse. If you're a Christian, I want you to know I don't hate you. If you're a Christian...
Oh, thank God. We don't want Reclaimer, the guy with 16 subs with no arguments, to hate us.
I can stand up and say, wow, this guy is making us look absolutely like woo-woo Riris.
Uh-huh.
Please stand up and tell me. Please, I want to hear you in the comments. Please tell me that there's actual Christians out there that are like, yeah, this guy's an idiot. We don't believe that. We accept.
Accept what? What would they accept? What's with the weird laughing too? What would they accept? That's why he's laughing. He doesn't even know what a Christian should or shouldn't accept.
Believe that. We accept. We accept that water can evaporate.
What? I accept water can evaporate.
And then condense back into rain.
We're not talking about this circle. We're talking about the delivery system.
And it doesn't just float off to heaven or what. I can't. I really can't.
He literally doesn't even know what I'm arguing. That's how dumb this guy is. He's so dumb that he can't even, with his little brain, he can't even focus on the question. The question is not what does water do once you have it here? The question is, you believe comets delivered water.
I could talk all day about...
I dare you. I dare you to talk all day.
By the way, why do we think that this happened via comets?
Yeah, please. Let's get into this. Yeah, please.
Because unlike idiots like Jim Bob, a naturalist said, okay, the water on Earth has this very specific nuclear isotope signature. Let's see if we look out in space, we'll find that exact signature. And
Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, dummy. There's looking out in space is meaningless. You know why? Because Earth is out in space. This is something I've noticed with these people, where they flip-flop with having a unique position on Earth and not having a unique position. This is the same argument as the DNA, right? Same exact argument, which is this. Things are composed of similar things, therefore things come from those things. I'm similarly composed at some molecular level as a banana, therefore I must come from the banana. I'm made of bananas. But the thing is, they don't even have a distinction out there in space. We're out there in space, according to him. So it's like, oh, the Earth got its water from outer space. How would you know that outer space, whatever you're finding outer space, didn't get its water from Earth? Now, he's never thought of this. He never thought of it from his relativistic view that there's no special, unique place in space. It's a really basic thing that people don't think of because they take it for granted that they're in a special space, and they should. They should say, we're in a special space. They should start from that position. But if you reject that position to say, oh my gosh, why do people... Dude, Jim Bob's so retarded. Why do people think that the water we see here comes from space? Because it has this very specific isotopes in it that match space. Yeah, let's grant it. Earth is in space. That doesn't tell you where it came from because you can just reverse that and say the things that you claim have the same molecular signature in space, maybe it came from Earth. What are you talking about?
Comets. And lo and behold, there is water out there that doesn't have that signature. But specifically, when we looked at the water in comets and even sampled some with the probe, guess what we discovered, Jim Bob? That exact matching signature. It's a coincidence. The laws is that the law of non-coincidence in your laws of logic? Is that one of them?
What? Coincidence?
Dumb shit.
That he thought that was an argument. That this guy thought this was an argument. Things are similarly composed. Therefore, I know the process by which one came from the other.
Laws of logic. Metaphysics. All right, guys. Tell me what you think. And
oh, yeah, please. You guys should tell him what you think. You guys should tell him what you think. Here, I'll even show you. Let's make sure you guys know where to find him. And tell him what you think, okay? Here's his page. Right there. Right there. Reclaimer 77. Is he in the chat? Dude, you can come on and explain to me. You can, look, if you want to teach these dumb Christians in the chat, if you want to teach us a lesson, if you want to continue this lecture that you did, I would just give you my platform right now. Get up here right now. I would be so pumped. So pumped if you got here right now. What does he say here? So bad. He called it the water circle. Dude. Oh my gosh. I love it. Thank you, God. Yeah, like Andrew says, thank you, God, for making my enemies so dumb. I mean, I'm still reeling from the debate, honestly. I was like, who is it? Who do you guys think the final boss of evolution is? Because we know Aaron Ra is not. He's like Bowser. He's like the first, second level final boss. And he doesn't, he's not even relevant. Is it Richard Dawkins? I don't even think Richard Dawkins could defend it even a little bit. And I thought the guy that I debated, at least he's been studying molecular biology for a while. You would think he would have a sharper grasp on the counter arguments that he would need prepared against me. You know what it is? They think they don't need any preparation because everyone just accepts it. I mean, obviously. You just accept it. And like these dumb people, I mean, they can't have anything reasonable to say or question. Good. I hope you guys keep thinking that. I hope you do. Good for us. Like, as many names as they call me, Jim Bob, what a name, redneck, flannel, this, that. It's like, that makes you guys look worse because, like this guy said, you study evolution, you try to defend it, and some knucklehead creation tard eviscerates your best proponents. Where are you guys? Where are you? Where are your best? Tell Reclaimer to meet you on Facebook. It's pathetic. Anyway, that's a lolcow channel right there. I'm subbing. Now he has 17 people following him. I would go sub to him. Reclaimer 77. You can't beat it. Look, he's locked. Oh, no, that's Remnant. Wow, he like mimics Remnant. Brenda is now the leader. Yeah, is Brenda? Is it Brenda? We're gonna take biological advice. We're gonna take a biological authoritative position on someone who denies biology. I mean, where are they? Please. Someone tell me where these people are. I want their best. Brenda is back. I gave him a sub to be kind. Yeah, go. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing today. He's usually hot in the chat, and now he's gone. I don't know where he went. Poor guy. Anyway, any key moments? I might review some of it on Turbo. I don't like to listen to myself talk, but there were some key moments there. Some people actually tagged the key moments. Maybe we can watch some of those. Maybe we should get in the habit of that. When I do a debate, I'll remind y'all to keep a tab on your favorite time codes so that when we can review them, I'll be able to find them quick. And it's easy enough to do, to just kind of jot it down, comment basically on the video immediately. He's resting from all the hate talk. Logic is the only way to think, this guy. Get a load of this guy. Get a load of this guy. Saving Christianity from Christians. Oh, that would be good. That could be good. It's Rhett. Oh, Rhett. That guy's a lolcow too. Saving Christianity from Christians. I think he... Who did he... Wait, did I review a part of that? I think I reviewed a little bit of that. Pretty sure. Anyway, I want to find this one part with the penis nub, because this is a killer. This is a real killer part. That doesn't make any sense from the Evo view. Really wacky view here. Could you give your thoughts to my reply on Reclaimer's 77 latest community post? Yeah, I can do that. Here, let's do it this way. Reclaimer. Oh, Reclaimer. Oh, Reclaimer. Oh, man. You really messed up. You really did a thing. All right. Let's take a look, see what you're talking about. posts. James Kelly. All right, James Kelly says, if truth was falsifiable, he wouldn't be the truth. It wouldn't be the truth. But sure, if you can prove how the church doesn't produce saints with the same practice and spirit of the early followers of Christ, that would be something that would falsify Jim Bob's paradigm. Good luck finding that, though. How about you answer his question at the end? Is reality purely material to you or not? You can't put the universal laws of logic under a microscope, therefore all truth can't be proven through empiricism. That's right. It would be good to see both of you actually talk, even if it's a moderated debate. Prior lifelong militant atheist, right? Most of us, some of us are anyway, myself included, who's now Orthodox Christian because it's the most authentic, coherent way to live a life of virtue. The universe isn't dysteleological. He doesn't like that word, by the way. It's the most authentic way. Okay, dysteleological has purpose outside of my own mind, right? There's purpose and function. There's no better philosophical justification for reality than our theology. And what did he write? What did he do? I'm sure we're going to get a top tier response here. That's not what falsify means in this case. It means if you suggest a cause or explanation. Okay. Yeah, you're dealing with a real, what they call a numpty. As the boomers call it. How was your debate with Kyle Kalinske on MDB? That guy? Yeah. That was kind of a sick burn, honestly. All right, let me see if I can find this. Someone posted the... Holy shit. Oh, okay, here's where it all fell apart for this guy. Means that a penis growing from the evolutionary view has to have an advantage every step of the way.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
No, you don't need to have a phallus at all. And some, like, for example, grouper fish, for example, they spread their eggs on a rock.
Do we need
then they eject their sperm onto that rock.
No,
so
stop.
It's actually
Stop. I didn't say are there other things that don't have penises.
Yeah.
You and I have a penis, right? You have a penis?
Okay.
Okay, maybe. Do I? Wait, do you? You said okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Why do you care?
Well, because I want to make sure we know what we're talking about. Tony was funny. He was like, that guy's room was like, if you have a penis, his room was like a window to like, what did he say? It was like every sort of grand acceptable narrative all in one room. It's like you got the vaccine thing poster. You've got the ticker, the stock market ticker. You got Bernie Sanders. You got a DNA strand. And you've got your debt certificates above you. And I have a penis, and we come from an animal that doesn't, right? We can't have sex without a penis, right? That's what we know about humans. From the evolutionary view, there has to be a moment in time where some ancestor of ours started the process of growing a penis, right? Now, if you're
it's a sex pillis, it's been happening for like in animals for a long time. It's the ability to specifically choose where your sperm is going to go.
Choose, right? Choice. Wild.
So it happens in a lot of different organisms, not just like mammals.
I didn't ask if it happens. It has to, if evolution is true, it had to have not happened first, and then it starts happening. Yeah.
No, you can have things evolve together.
Eternal. See this? You evolve together. No. What's evolving? This is the problem with evolution. The thing you're pointing to that's evolving needed to not exist as it is to be able to say the identity of the thing is evolving. What's evolving? The thing that already exists. Wait, how did we get that? It evolved. What evolved? This is why abiogenesis is unavoidable, honestly. And you have to take it from this combination. The mechanistic attack, what's the process, and what's the subject of the process? What's subject to the process is the identity, though. Evolution just ties it all together, and they just say, oh, whoa, there's this process that happens. And you go, a process that an organism undergoes? Yeah. What's the process the organism undertakes? Oh, the process is this, a random mutation, and it produces things, and the organism itself changes. The organism is the process. That's what it is. The organism is the process. So the organism is subject to itself. It needs to exist in a specific way for it to undergo a process. But you ask, how does it exist? And they say the process. Penis?
That happens. No, this happens all the time with like flowers and proboscises and butterflies, for example.
Yeah. How do you get a butterfly? A butterfly wasn't always a butterfly.
As like the nectar gets lower and lower and closer to where they.
I actually thought about that. Actually, I think because I'm getting a little bit bored with debates, I'll still do them because evolution, I think, is one of the key ones to argue against. Because you know why? Progressivism and liberalism and all these other political sort of stances, I think, are downstream from a foundational view of what you are. And so I think you're right. I think I should bring my drawing board, honestly. I should plug it in, hook it up to my virtual cam, and debate. Dude, I should just debate without a face. I should just debate as a whiteboard, honestly. I think I should. You know what I mean? I should just shrink my camera down, Shrink my camera down to like this. Like tiny, like this. Just have my whole camera a whiteboard. Great idea.
The flower.
Matt Powell made another Orthodox video. That guy's such a autistic. He needs a little helmet. He needs a little theology helmet.
Needs in order for reproduction to happen. The proboscis gets lower too. So it happens. They evolve together at the same time.
So according to your view, the beginning of penis and vagina sex starts with not needing penis and vagina sex, totally reproducing in-house, totally fine. You got it going on, in-house factory, right?
Yep.
And from your view, random mutation kicks off, and I noticed Greg jumped between genes and random, and genes aren't random. Yeah. Well, did you stick around for the end, Kevin? Another kill shot was, I asked him, how does he determine what's random? That was like, I can't wait. I downloaded this. I'm gonna pour through it and really get a highlight reel going. And unfortunately, Greg, you stepped in some shit here because you thought you were just debating some retard who didn't understand something, right? But there were so many moments here that you stepped in, and they're all through the debate, and I'm going to consolidate them. I'm sorry in advance. And accidentally, through random mutation, starts a dimple in what wouldn't even be a female at that point. Maybe it would be a dimple that would eventually be the vagina, and a nub that would eventually be the penis. And you're saying random mutation actually started that process, and the organisms at the population level kept their nub and kept their dimple for millions of years toward functionality, right? Yeah. A dimple and a vagina toward purpose from a purposeless mechanism. No purpose toward super compatibility. Compress your face. You know what I should do? I should lower the opacity so that my face is just kind of floating in the whiteboard. It's like the Wizard of Oz. But even though, watch this, even though whatever the female is developing independent of the thing that already gives them reproduction, and the male who's growing a penis, even though they already have this other thing you said that acts as the penis, they grow these things independently, unrelated to each other.
Yep.
And voila, at the end of the baking period called evolution, this thing happens to work perfectly with this thing.
This happens all the time.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time where organisms split from asexual to a dual set, and they independently grow penises and vaginas without any relation until there's one day it actually works.
In nature. So this happens
What?
like, for example, with like with mongoose and rattlesnake venom, right?
This was crazy. I don't know what misfired in his brain. He's like, rattlesnake venom and mongoose.
So as the rattlesnake venom gets stronger and stronger, the mongoose and their antitoxins will actually increase as well. So they go back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. So
wait.
they're not,
How
like,
is that? Wait a second. How is that analogous? The ability for the mongoose to develop some resistance to rattlesnake venom. How is that analogous to two different organisms of the same species that already have the capability of having sex, independently growing a nub that'll eventually be a dick and a dimple that'll eventually be an internal vagina, even though you just said, well, they probably had the ability to have sex already without them. They just do both until the penis is done, right? That's what you have to believe, is that the penis, independent of the vagina, in a species that are already having sex, because they have to be able to have sex to be able to live long enough to grow a penis, right? Millions of years, reproduction without the penis. Millions of years of reproduction without the penis or the vagina has to be the case under this view. Now, if that's the case, how? What do you mean? No, of course.
No, sexual production, like sexual reproduction and the ability to choose a mate would be something that would be chosen under this model, right? It wouldn't
chosen. It's amazing. That was actually kind of the wild part about this guy. Unlike everyone else I've ever debated, they actually usually stay away from purpose. They stay away from choice. They stay away from intent because they know that means something. That means that there's a teleology there. But this guy, he was like, yeah, no, they chose. They wanted it. They wanted a nubby. They needed the nubby. They were praying for the nubby. Ultravoid says, don't forget, it would also need to create at the same time a whole new plumbing system to birth that new creature and somehow so remove the old plumbing. Yeah. Yep. They just like, well, enough time, changes happen. I also got them pretty good. It wasn't as clear of a shot as I wanted. Got them pretty good on the composition fallacy, which is a good trap to set for people.
Be like
I don't think you heard what I said.
Fish.
I don't think you understood what I said. Here's what the future of a man would be. Here's the future of a female. You're saying that, yes, under the evolutionary view, this population of species, whatever it is, has to be alive and reproduce during the time period that's required to grow evolutionarily, a fully formed functioning penis. So the thing is, the organism has to be able to reproduce on its own, totally fine, survive totally on its fine, and on the shelf they're developing a penis and a vagina, but it doesn't do anything yet. It doesn't do anything.
So it would be like 7 million years ago or something when we were
7 million years. Well, listen, if we just go back 7 million years ago, if you just let me rewind the tape 7 million billion 4,000 million years ago, you would see
we're more like, we are apes as humans, but maybe like we have different, stages of our hip placement or something like that. What
do you mean a hip placement? What's a hip if it's not in the place that it is? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where the constant denial of universals. What's a this? What's a that? It's all based, like everything, the nature of something is always proper to how it operates, that it has purpose. A hip has a purpose. And he's like, well, there's a time where a hip placement needed a hip replacement a long time ago, and then the hip moved. You're like, a hip, right? Is a hip a finger bone?
Ability to have a phallus is,
the ability to have a phallus. Was that a website domain you bought? Yeah, you're just granted an ability to have a phallus, right? Well, you have the ability to just see things. And even though the eyeball is meaningless and for a human, unless it has the brain to then interpret the data in a meaningful way, it just has it. It just has it.
Gives some type of evolutionary advantage
What?
so that the uterus could be
what?
The uterus would be farther back, so then it could be larger and gave some type of fitness advantage. And
this is the best they have. You just make up a story. Oh, well, then, there's probably some other scenario a million years ago where the vagina, even though it had no purpose yet, it needed to go deeper for some reason, even though biologically speaking, if the function of the vagina and the delivery of sperm was external, it would actually be easier to reproduce if you just can drop it, do a little drop on the outside. But no, evolution wanted you to dig a hole deeper.
And that's actually a big problem with Homo sapiens in general, is because of like our hip placement, and that's where like the brain kind of like it's a huge limiting fact. So I would probably say that the phallus
Total nonsense, red herring.
length, which is abnormally large for our humans, for mammals,
For me.
for our size, is
That was good timing for me, honestly.
basically. It probably was contingent on the ability for humans
Probably.
to have lower death rate during childbirth. That's what I would assume.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Yeah. That's a big assumption. It's basically a story. Really, the question is, it's really simple. If there's a population that can already reproduce without the penis in the vagina, it has to necessarily be the case that they keep reproducing without the penis in the vagina, and eventually the penis and the vagina are done cooking, so to speak, and they get to be put on the Target shelves and finally used. Now, the other alternative,
Not how it works. That's not what I'm saying.
No. Here's the alternative. No, let me just say the alternative. The alternative is every step of the way for the penis and the vagina is useful and sufficient for reproduction. Every step of the way.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but that ends the entire narrative of evolution. It literally ends the entire descriptive narrative of evolution.
to have lower death rate during childbirth. That's what I would assume.
Yeah, that's a big assumption. It's basically a story. Really, the question is, it's really.
Molecularological. Bob. Half black hair. This is also good for debating evolution. They love to look at mutations as independent attachments like DLC to a video game or a button added to a shirt. No, all the mutations, especially functional ones, involve co-development of many other systems.
Right.
Even a tail requires bone, muscle, blood, hair, skin as systems to grow in agreement.
That's right. It's holistic. The reason that evolution, among many reasons, doesn't make sense is that you can't examine a human body while denying the holistic aspect of how it works together. So it's like you can't argue that the thing that you're saying is happening is that everything in the body is changing. The whole body's changing in conjunction with every particular element of the body is changing. And it's always in flux. The heart was once not a heart, and now it's a heart, but maybe in the future it's not a heart. Everything about it. And yet each thing is changing independently, but also changing independently in conjunction while maintaining workability with other things that are changing independently. It's absolute insanity. It's like saying there's a city plan and you just build a new road or highway without any consideration, randomly. If you just built a highway randomly, you didn't consider where the buildings are, you didn't consider anything about it. You just built a highway. No relationship to anything. Just built it. Something I learned watching you and Dyer deal with atheists is these guys think they are smart. They're smarter than they are, and they end up looking, they come in with the confidence. They come in like, it's not just that they think they're smarter, they think we're dumber than we are too. It's a combination. It goes hand in hand. They think we're dumber. They're like, oh, I'll debate any theist. I'll debate any Christian. I mean, how hard could it be? They believe in God. I mean, this is so easy. Really simple. If there's a population that can already reproduce without the penis in the vagina, it has to necessarily be the case that they keep reproducing without the penis in the vagina, and eventually the penis and the vagina are done cooking, so to speak, and they get to be put on the Target shelves and finally used. Now, the other alternative,
Not how it works. That's not what I'm saying.
No. Here's the alternative. Let me just say the alternative. The alternative is every step of the way for the penis and the vagina is useful and sufficient for reproduction. Every step of a nub is sufficient and useful along the way. Now, he concedes this, and it's like, think about that for a second. Everything about your body, from the evolutionary view, was once not what it is, but also was in development of what it will be, what it is now. But also what it was also sufficient to be what it was and had no reason to become what it is. But then they say, why are our eyes the way they are today and everything else? And they go, because they're sufficient for natural selection. Well, everything leading up to this must have been. And they're like, yeah, that's the point. Literally every single page of the evolutionary view, every single second, honestly, every second of change is a new fundamental nature of everything, a fundamental new nature and function of everything. Every page. This goes for species, that there is no line of species. It's a continual flux. The idea of isolating one and saying that's a species is incoherent. They don't even believe that that's a real thing. Every stage between a non-existent liver and a fully functioning liver with a shape and a purpose in the body, every single step along the way needs to be called a new thing. Every single second of flux change, every single time. Entirely new name for what it is. Instead of singing hip bone connects to the leg bone, evolution singing hip bone mutates to the clavicle bone mutates to the fin bone, right? There's a better chance a tornado makes a perfect map in the United States than the theory of evolution. Yeah, absolutely. It's not how it works. It's more like, well, let's hear how it works. Every step of the way.
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, necessarily so, right? Between us and where mammals were 100 million years ago, obviously on every step of the way, the phallus length was, absolutely, enough for
Here's the thing.
the fallopian tubes.
Fine, let's go with that. Why would it be an advantage for the female who ultimately their goal is to reproduce? Why would it be an advantage to dig a hole deeper?
Like I said, it would be something to do with like hip placement or something like that in order to actually open up the canal in order to birth humans, which are...
See how crazy this is? So women already need to be able to birth humans, right? From this process called sex, right? This is why it's so... This is why you have to be a crazy person to believe in evolution and argue it. I ask... Wait a second. Why is it, if the idea is reproduction and quick access to reproduction, why is it that evolution geared women toward a deeper vaginal canal? It's actually harder to do it. In fact, even their body works against sperm. Creates a barrier, creates a challenge for the sperm, right? Doesn't make it easier, it makes it harder. And then he says, well, the reason it's deeper is that because it needed a wider space for a birthing canal. Well, obviously it didn't need that because women were having kids.
It's hard, and we have like a really hard rate in order to be born. Well, because our head development, our heads are too large.
Well, you got to Our heads are too large. When did that happen? Isn't this wild? Your head developed really large, and then our hip bones didn't catch up, and they caught up accidentally, by the way. Totally accidentally. Another random mutation that said, let's rearrange the body plan. Accidentally. Totally accidentally. Random mutation. Even though it had to be the case, millions of years, you grant women exist. You grant two sexes exist. You grant there's a thing called the womb. You grant that there's a thing called the placenta. That has to develop too from the evolutionary view. Everything in the body needs to have an evolutionary account and description and explanation for it. Everything. So that's what's crazy when they go, well, you're doing abiogenesis. You know what? There's a different kind of abiogenesis, in a sense, that you still have to deal with, even if we grant you life, which is for every organ that you have in your body, we're going to push you to a type of abiogenesis of that particular organ. So it doesn't get you out of it. Like, fine, when you guys debate these people and they go, I'm not talking about abiogenesis. Look, you don't need to press them. It's totally fair to, by the way, because they have a system of endless regress. But forget it. Grant them a bunch of things. Grant them a bunch of things and watch. Instead of attacking abiogenesis, life emerging from non-life, just go from organs emerging from non-organs. It's the same problem. It's the same exact problem. It's just hyper-specific on these types of things. They don't have an answer. They need life granted. You know what else they need granted? They need populations. They need a proto-organ. Every step of the way, they need one thing, one miracle granted every single time. That's why evolution is, because of that, a series of infinite miracles, even by their standard of a miracle. Infinite. Jim Bob, have you read Father Spiriton Bailey's book, The UFO Deception? It is in chapter 8. It's dedicated entirely to evolution, and it hits on all the same points. Nice. No, I haven't. I'll check that out.
We actually are born like, a developmentally very early because of that.
Okay, but the thing is, now you got a bigger problem, which is there had to be a time where the placenta and the whole birth thing of birthing for humans actually wasn't the way things were happening.
Yeah, mammalian placental like evolution is like well documented, and there's lots of different types.
Unbelievable. So there was once a time, I say, where this kind of system didn't exist, necessarily so, under evolution. He says there's a lot of different examples of it existing. Hey, does evolution, from your view, need to cause the existence of a placenta, this kind of way of giving birth, all the specific ways to give birth? Yes. Oh, how does it do that? Well, there are many examples of it of this type of birth. Huh. Wait, hold on a second. That you just said that, well, there's a lot of things out there. What I'm saying is
lots of different types of birthing.
No, you have to tell me now, right? First of all, we have this sexual problem of like two forms of sex, right? Whereas if you go back far enough, you're going to eventually converge to something that's hermaphroditic, right, and asexual, right?
What?
What do you mean? Why are you confused? Sexual, right?
I mean, 700 million years ago.
700,000 million years. Yeah.
Like as the creation of
creation.
Eukaryotes. Yeah, and
wait,
then we're
creation?
talking about. Yeah.
What do you mean a creation?
They were like intelligently designed by evolution.
No. Hold on a second. Wow, intelligently designed by non-intelligent. Hold on. I know. No. I'm just getting you on a word. It's funny.
3.8 billion years ago is our oldest fossilized, evidence of cyanobacteria. So there's, 3.8 billion years ago to 700 million years ago.
Okay.
That's when eukaryotes, started evolving.
They started. What's the thing that's evolving? Eukaryotes. How did they start? They started evolving. Wait, how did you get eukaryotes? Well, they started evolving. What started evolving? Eukaryotes. Wait, does something need to exist to evolve? Yes. How did that thing start to exist? It evolved. Right. They just came on the scene, like
They
arbitrarily.
evolved, yeah.
Yeah, they just showed up, but we don't have a justification. Well, when they evolved, what evolved? I mean, they means they already existed. So, is there a point where something needs to exist in order to evolve? Dude, I'm just gonna have a blast editing this. Honestly, if you guys have time, seriously, if you want to watch through it at like high speed or whatever, help me. Make sure I get all the points. If there's anyone out there who wants to help me do that, I would really appreciate it. Hello, darkness.
There's a pro-evolution book I like called Human Brain Evolution. He goes over all the things they need to account for a human brain to evolve. From brains getting larger, guts getting smaller, guts getting better at metabolizing fat for higher calorie density, mother's milk providing precise nutritional needs to feed the larger brain, human babies being the only creature that produce ketones out of necessity which are toxic to other creatures, mother's hips being wider to not crush the brain in birth, shoulders evolving backwards for better motor control while breastfeeding to protect the baby's brain. All of these things must evolve together in the perfect way. If any one thing is out of proportion to the other, the baby dies and the mutation does not get passed on. Dustin
Right.
S.
Thank you, Justin. I mean, even a half black guy knows this. You know what I need to do? I'm going to show you guys this. I'll do this right now. I need a Zoom system. I have a Zoom system for me. But you know what I need? I need a Zoom system for duplicate Zoom subject. I need a Zoom subject. And watch what we get here. This will be fun to do. Now I can zoom in on the subject when they fail. Which is, there had to be a time where the placenta and the whole birth thing of birthing for humans actually wasn't the way things were happening.
Yeah, mammalian placental like evolution is like well documented, and there's lots of different types.
Wait, hold on a second. That you just said, well, there's a lot of things out there. What I'm saying
lots
is
of different types of like birthing.
No, you have to tell me now, right? First of all, we have this sexual problem of like two forms of sex, right? Whereas if you go back far enough, you're going to eventually converge to something that's hermaphroditic, right, and asexual, right?
What?
Asexual, right?
I mean, 700 million years ago, like was the creation of eukaryotes. Yeah, and then we're talking about. Yeah.
What do you mean a creation?
You know, they were like intelligently designed by evolution. You know.
No. Hold on a second. Hold on. I know. No. I'm just getting you on a word. It's funny.
3.8 billion years ago is our oldest fossilized, evidence of cyanobacteria. So there's, 3.8 billion years ago to 700 million years ago.
Okay.
That's when eukaryotes, started evolving.
Right. They just came on the scene, like arbitrarily.
They evolved, yeah.
Yeah, they just showed up, but we don't have a justification. Well, what do you mean? They means they already existed. So is there a point where something needs to exist in order to evolve?
I mean, there was life, there was bacteria,
there was life.
And then there was some of them had like a megalovirus endosymbiotic event, and then that's what happened. Yeah.
Wait, that's what happened, and that's what happened, and then we did it, and then we were there, and then there I was, and there I was. Why did the bars flip though? What is that? What is that bar flip? What is happening with the bar flip? I don't get that. Huh. Why do the bars flip? I don't know why they flip. Whatever, it's kind of cool. That's what happened?
We haven't like seen a eukaryote without a nucleus, so yeah.
Okay, so the first organisms could reproduce massively, asexually.
Yep.
And random mutation said, listen, even though, like you said, you're using less money, less calories, it's actually advantageous, would you agree, to reproduce internally, right, in-house?
I mean, that's the problem, is that you create less mutations. So that kind of like
wait. Hold on, this is circular now. Okay, I just want one word answer for this part, if you don't mind. Is it an advantage to reproduce asexually in-house? Risk is down, right? You don't have to fight for a mate. You basically, everything's happening in-house, right? So isn't that an advantage?
No, it's not an advantage.
Why
not necessarily?
It would necessarily be an advantage. This is the contradiction. Direct contradiction, by the way. If I asked, why is it animals reproduced asexually? He would say, because it was selected for. Why was it selected for? Because it was advantageous. Okay, P1. P, I should say. P. Asexual reproduction is advantageous. Not P. Asexual reproduction is not advantageous.
Not necessarily, because you'd create a genome minimizing event. That's exactly the bottleneck effect, where now if you have a population of bacteria, okay, and all they did was asexual reproduction, then the environment or a predator or something else is going to select for whether or not that's advantageous. And sometimes that's not, right? Because you need to introduce like some type of genetic mutations. Look, and through horizontal gene transfer,
it has to be
example. That's why
it has to be the case that what an animal or population is doing, in this case asexual reproduction, it has to be the case from your view that the reason it's doing it is that it is an advantage.
In some cases, yeah.
In some cases, in some cases, not. We actually have no way of determining whether it's advantageous or not. We just post hoc say whether it is or not, just arbitrarily. So you know what I'm saying? Like, how does an evolution proponent go back in time and determine what's advantageous and what's not if the thing that they're claiming still exists is still advantageous? By the way, there's asexual animals today. Nick Fuentes. Is it advantageous? Anyway, I'm going to be running through this before. I don't want to do the whole thing now, but you guys can run through it. If you guys have time, if you're not doing anything, that would be a great help to me. Just put the time codes under in here on this video that I was just playing, and we'll get together a really good reel. Because there were really good moments in this one. Couple of real, like, beep, boop, boo, doo, 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 nee. Matt Powell. Okay. Matt Powell. Witchcraft? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, look, he tells you why. He tells you why he's covering it in his first words. This is why. This is why you're covering it. Why? I'll tell you why. Here's why.
Religions. One of the fastest growing religions in the world today is Eastern Orthodoxy, and unfortunately many Christian men have gone into this. And
why is that unfortunate? I mean, hey, Matt Powell, based on your own broken theology, it can't be unfortunate. It actually can't be unfortunate.
They believe that it is the authentic faith that was once delivered to the saints. And I'd like to disprove Eastern Orthodoxy in just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes. 2,000 years of well-kept tradition, praxis, theology, hermeneutics, dogma. 7 councils in. And he's going to just do it. Matt Powell, just his little 22,000 person account. He's going to do it in just a couple minutes. I'm just going to do this in just a couple minutes. Here we go. When is the movie review? Hold on. I keep forgetting. When did I say? The 27th, Tuesday. 27th, Tuesday. I'll probably dual stream it if we can get the tech working. The combination of our boomer tech. See if we can get it together.
It takes a little bit of time to show that what they believe is blatantly false. And if you're Orthodox and listening to this, I don't make these videos to attack you or to hurt your feelings. What I am trying to do is I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to equip you with knowledge and understanding. And so in this video, I'm going to cover the most demonic.
Look at. Look, he's trying to save us. He's trying to teach us things. Should we? 2,000 years of church father commentary. 2,000 years of liturgical practice, unchanged liturgical practice. Nope. We're going to have to learn. We need to learn from the guy with the blue shirt.
Prayer, in my opinion, that I've found of the Eastern Orthodox, and it is a prayer to Mary, very demonic, very satanic, what is in this prayer. And then after I cover that,
I don't think he knows what satanic means.
I'm going to mention to you what I believe is the most demonic doctrine of the Eastern Orthodox Church. In this prayer that they often repeat to Mary.
Look how beautiful that is. You know, it doesn't help you guys when you're doing. I have some unsolicited advice for you, you proddies and you heterodox people. Don't show how beautiful orthodoxy is in a counter video. I mean, fine, do it. But I'm saying, if I were you, I wouldn't do this.
They say that on account of the multitude of my transgressions, I am hindered from raising my eyes to Him, Jesus, and asking for forgiveness. For this reason, I bring you forward as my intercessor and mediator. Notice what's being propagated in this prayer. It says that we are hindered from raising our eyes to Jesus and asking Him for forgiveness. We're hindered from Jesus. We can't get to Him directly. We've got to go to you, Mary, because Mary, you're going to be...
Well, look, why would you ask anyone to pray for you? I mean, this is a simple refutation of this. It's like, if the counter is there's no purpose in asking for prayer, then there's no purpose in praying for others or asking for their prayer. Matt Powell, do you ask people to pray for you? Do people ask you to pray for them and you say, no, that's demonic? I mean, this is so low tier. Like, you do need a heterodox helmet. Do you think he knows what a demonic is? Yeah, I don't think he knows what demonic is.
Be our mediator for Jesus. You're going to be the one who can intercede with Him. And in other prayers, it says that
intercession is biblical.
Mary has to placate Jesus, placate the Son, which means to calm Jesus down. They believe in orthodoxy, according to these prayers, according to this doctrine, that Mary has more patience than Jesus.
Nope, that's not what it follows. That's see, what's more demonic, Matt Powell? Even granted, you will have a limited or maybe perverted interpretation, right? You're not going to be able to steel man orthodoxy in your little video. But the thing is, you come to these conclusions that aren't the conclusions. They're not only what we don't believe. You're saying something we don't believe, but it doesn't even follow what you're saying. You just made a huge jump right there, and you didn't even catch it. And we're supposed to be taking advice from you? Matt Powell, we're supposed to take advice from you? You just made a huge, inconsistent, logical jump. You made a conclusion that doesn't actually follow from the premises.
This is a huge doctrinal error. This is a huge problem because the Bible tells us in 1 Timothy 2:5, for there is one God.
Yeah, the Bible, it's crazy that you trust the Bible. Look, this guy has no reason to trust the Bible. That's my new counter argument to all of them. Instead of like, who gave you the Bible, well, all this stuff. Why do you trust the Bible? Why would you trust the Bible, Timothy? Or not Timothy. Why would you appeal to Timothy? Why would you even try to find a scripture that counters what you think the position that you're up against? Why would you even do it? There's no reason to do it. You have no reason to trust 1 Timothy 2:5, Matt Powell. Now, maybe this is just not a common thing said by another proclaimed Christian to another proclaimed Christian. It sounds off to go, why do you trust the Bible? What do you mean? Aren't you a Christian? We both trust the Bible, right? Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Why, Matt Powell? Why would you trust the Bible? On what account and what ecclesiology and what system of authority would you appeal to even trust what you're reading should even be in a book of books?
And one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus. Jesus is the one and only mediator between us and God. In Orthodoxy, they're claiming that Mary is better than Jesus by praying to her. They prefer to pray to Mary for forgiveness. And they even admit, we can't raise our eyes to Jesus. We can't ask him for forgiveness, according to this prayer.
No, he's also conflating this is just so bad. His interpretation is so transparent. He's just taking statements and then making general, sort of universal statements, right? He's not taking any nuanced approach to this. He's like, oh, look, they say this. That means you're completely incapable. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. You can find just as many counterexamples where we take the approach that you think is proper, right?
According to this particular piece of documentation, they claim that Jesus is unable to be approached, but we have to approach Mary so that Mary can calm him down and make it so we can approach him. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that there's...
So, look, I wonder if what's this guy's take on the Eucharist? Just purely sort of symbolic gesture, neither here nor there. You know what I mean? It's like, take a Eucharistic approach to this. Is it possible that you're spiritually unwell? Is it possible that you're not in a position to receive the body of Christ? Is that possible from his view? It just wouldn't be, right? There's no such thing. No such thing from his view. Why? Because the Eucharist isn't actual from that view. Why? You know what I mean? Think of it this way. If you didn't hold that there was the true body of Christ, if you didn't hold that view, there would be nothing for you to sort of prepare for. There would be no necessity of fasting, confession, humility, prayer, silence. None of this would be necessary from his view. It's like there's no difference between taking the Eucharist from his view and going to the arcade or go roller skating or bowling. It's pretty sad. Good job yesterday, JB, with that Evo dude. The last stuff really put him in the spot for sure. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
It's a very dangerous doctrine that goes hand in hand with this prayer that Orthodox Christians believe, and that is that we've got to pray to dead people. They will try to speak.
What do you mean, dead people? That's weird. So you think... Wow. What's more demonic than denying? Denying, right? What does dead mean? That means there's a separation from the soul and the body. So the soul dies, Matt? The soul dies? I mean, who's was it Isaiah? Who was he talking to? Isaiah. Was that just a figment of his imagination? Are you calling God a liar? Is he hallucinating? God was hallucinating? He's talking to dead people? So God's satanic for talking to dead people now? This guy isn't even worth it. Honestly, you know what? There's going to be enough people. Maybe Soren will cover this. I don't even want to look at this guy's face. I'm very displeased. So I don't need to see this guy. Hell no.
Jim Bob, half black here. This is anger-inducing, but I will leave the audience with this reminder and refutation of him. Orthodox pre-communion prayer. O Lord, I have sinned against heaven and before thee, and I am not worthy to lift up my eyes to the majesty of thy glory, for I have affronted thy goodness, and broken thy commandments, and disobeyed thy laws. This is what we mean when say we cannot lift up our eyes to Jesus. Mary is more righteous than us and can appeal to him like she did at the wedding in the gospel.
Right. That's right, the wedding. Just so, I don't know why Matt Powell avoids that part, right? One of the first miracles at the wedding. I actually have the icon. It's a beautiful icon, the wedding. Mary interceding, noticing the lack of wine, bringing this need to Jesus, directing the servants to do whatever he tells you. Satanic? How satanic? The complete rejection of the promise of unending life, yeah. Yep. It's wild, dude. That guy's sick, man. He's actually kind of sicker because there's something more disturbing with how he his energy about it, like the way he delivers it is seemingly, it's like, to me, is more concerning than like the Christian King and these guys who are like sort of, they're actually puffed out about it, like they're emotional, they're impassioned. He's kind of has like a psycho killer vibe where he's just saying it. It's weird. Fupa Boy. Hey, Jim Bob, I enjoy the debate on MDD. Evolution may not be true, but how do you explain the fossil record and the species that only appear in particular layers? Well, it's false that things only appear in particular layers, first of all. Under their model, things show up in layers that it shouldn't. They just say nuh-uh and they recategorize it. So you just got to know that, first of all. Second of all, the fossil record, there's nothing really called a fossil record. There are fossils, and then there are interpretations of fossils. That the interpretation is the record. The fossils aren't the record, and they just put together the particulars, the fossils, and then the narrative, the records, and they call it the fossil record. Similar, transitional fossil. No, a fossil's not transitional. A fossil's a fossil. No, it's a transitional fossil. It's a fossil record. Nope. That's not the case. So, Fupa Boy, you got to look into when it's the case where fossils show up in layers that it shouldn't be, and how they explain that. They don't, actually. They just recategorize it. No explaining. If it doesn't meet the model, say it's some anomaly or say something happened. So, it doesn't really tell you anything. The key point is that the whole purpose of fossils anyway, from their view, is to try to interpolate, like an animation, an event. And the event is called transformation. And so they're saying, look at the fossils. Look at this line of sequential frames of an animation. See? It demonstrates transformation. No, it doesn't. It does not. There's another problem there is evolution is claimed to happen at the population level, and fossils are found at the individual level. They're not found at the population level. So there is no record that you can approach from fossils to demonstrate changes at the population level. You don't know. I mean, there are enough. Look at the kind of kids Muslims produce. If those little miniature skulls that are the product of first cousin marriages were, sunk into the ground and preserved for how many years? However many years, you might find a couple of them and say, look, these are really interesting. This was a whole generation of smaller-brained hominids. Nope. They were just incest Muslims.
Based on the bones, as you can see by the bones, based on the bones.
Yeah.
Based on the bones.
Durka Durka. Ali Akbar. Bananas and rice, dude. The banana. Let's watch that together. We might as well. So crazy. The bananas and rice. Oh, it's like they're actually trying to get us to fight a war. It's like they want us to fight a war.
So I'm Somali. I'm proud to be Somali. To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American, but it's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice. People don't really see people don't think, oh, you can eat bananas with rice, but that's what it's like to be Somali and American. It's like that combination of banana and rice, but you're gonna get what I mean.
No. Well, actually, this is really interesting. For those of you who were lucky enough to tune in to Ortho Thugs last night for 4 hours, Tony and I covered something that I think is actually really important when we look at this, because it's really easy to laugh at this, right? And we should. It's easy to laugh at this chick and go, well, what does it mean to be American and Somalian? It means bananas and rice, right? I just want to replace her with the ordinary sort of just purely liberty above all individualist consumer American for a second. If I swapped her with an ordinary consumer individualistic American, a materialist, and they said Netflix and chill instead of bananas and rice, we should still be laughing and rejecting it. And it really brings up a really key point. She's actually kind of doing us a service that if we failed to see it and just made fun of her, it would be a missed opportunity. And the service that she's providing is that if we're reflective about this and we swap her with Netflix and chill, the question of identity is something you're going to have to really think about and come up against. When you say, I'm an American, we need America first. We need to protect American identity. We need to protect the American, experiment. We need to do this. We need to do that, right? Well, what is it? Because especially if you're a right-winger, and you'll mostly hear protecting American identity from right-leaning people, you have to ask yourself, okay, what's the identity? And what's kind of funny is that if you press an American who just hasn't really thought about this, and they don't have orthodoxy ultimately to point to, guess what? They're going to say two things similar to that. Maybe they'll add in a couple of more distinctions. Well, I mean, what it means to be American is hardworking and whatever. They're going to add all this stuff, right? They're going to add more bananas and rice, honestly. To be absolutely fair to this lady, who's clearly just like a young chick trying to be a face, nervous, stupid, you know. Still, it's still a question that needs to be pressed back. And the best thing you can gain from this is swap yourself with her. What does it mean to be an American for you? Netflix and chill. What does it mean? Amazon, Prime, capitalism and cookies, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. All right, well, you're not in that. You're not really in that better of a position than her, honestly. You basically have to ask yourself, what is the identity of this nation? What would it be for me to die for it? What would it be? Would you die for bananas and rice? No. Would you die for Netflix and chill? No. Would you die just for pure liberty? You might. Some people might die for just pure liberty. In fact, they do all the time. But is that enough for you guys? Just liberty? Just liberty. Just the concept of liberty. How about property? Just property. Would you die just for property? Only for property. That's the only reason. These were the Axiomites that went from Tawido Orthodox to Islam, by the way. Disgusting. She just really likes bananas and rice. She was thinking about how she skipped breakfast and now isn't sure if she's hungry, and it's bananas or rice. Plantains and rice. I'm just now leering about the bananas and rice dish. I'm going to give it a shot, Jimmy James. Honestly, I'm going to give it a nice multicultural shot later. Cut some bananas, get me some rice, put it on there, slurp it down. The rabbit hole involving Somalis gets dark when you look into how they seem to not report senior deaths and keep receiving state benefits. Yeah, they're just robbing us all. That's it. They're just robbing us blind. Bananas and rice. Netflix and chill. 6-7. You know, swap her with a girl her age, you know, in our society. OnlyFans? What? What does it mean to be American? Just party and do what you want. Just liberty. I mean, it's just, we are free to do whatever we want. That is what it means to be an American in America. I mean, it's great. Make that money. Make that money. Identity is malleable. Well, it shouldn't be. That's the problem. Not if look, if you're Orthodox, it ends up not being the case. And that's the point. But otherwise, you're right. The point is, how do you escape the otherwise malleability of identity? Because if it's malleable and changing, it's really hard to make an argument that you're going to defend something that's bigger than you, a collective identity that's bigger than you. If everyone's identity is changing and it's in flux, evolution, it's like evolution, then what is it? What's the referent that you're actually defending, that you're actually going to go to war for? Honestly, what is it? Metallica? Football? NFL? Xbox? What is it? What's going to get you to go to the gun safe? Honestly, what's going to be? What's going to get you to remember the code to your wall mount for your AR-15? I think it's a good question. It's a good one. Poor thing. Get out of my country, but also poor thing. Oh, you poor thing. Can I help you out of my country? Please? Pro-choice arguments. Pro-choice is so bad. What else we got here? What else do we got? What do you guys got? Say God family. Family has to also be an identity reflective of something. So in Orthodoxy, your family's an extension of the church. So the church precedes family at like a paradigm level. And then if that's true, if your family is an extension of the church and then a multiplicity of families are the extension of a church, then what you call a town or a city ideally would be a large-scale extension of the church. And then what does that say about the state? And what does that say about multiple states? At least in the West, we have states. Or what does that say about the nation itself? You know? But that's why, like, atomization is so bad for a culture and a civilization, because if you forget that your family's the extension of the church, you get into, well, we're just in a vacuum of our own individualism. So there is no greater meaning to gain or greater life to live outside of the walls of your house and your family. And then it's just like, all right, pursue what you want. Pursue, like, you know, just be a radical individual. And, you know, then you teach your kids that too, radical individualism. Go for it. That's what it ends up being. And that's what we got now. Honestly, that's what we have now. So, it looks like 2 days ago, Modern Day Debate released the whole 5v1. If you guys want to see that, that's, well, it's at least a 17-minute clip of it or whatever. You guys can go check that out. Not do that now. You guys can do that when you want. What else? What kind of crazy stuff did I see today? I really wish Reclaimer was here for his little roast session, because I would have loved to him jump on. You know what would be funny next time? Maybe I could do this with, like, Planet Peterson one day. Or someone oppositional. Wouldn't it be cool to review something that's contentious between, let's say, the atheistic view and the Christian view, and examine it from both perspectives, and it can turn into an argument, but there's two different accounts in contradiction of a thing we're looking at. I just don't know who would be good enough to do that with. And it's not just good enough. Who's oppositional at the atheist level, like the naturalist level, that's tolerable? Who is it? Who's tolerable? I don't know. No idea. Evidence for panspermia. What did I say? They're going to take on the Evo people. The Evotards are going to take on intelligent design, and this guy's going to lead the way.
Where did life on Earth come from? Where did life on Earth come from? We operate on the assumption that it evolved from single-celled organisms.
Here is the beginning. I knew it. Intelligent design for atheism. Here it comes.
Here on Earth. And the single-celled organism evolved from whatever prebiotic chemistry was thriving here on Earth. In recent decades, we've broadened this awareness of the formation of life to ask the...
How many layers of blue different color flannel do you need, bro?
Question, could life have formed somewhere else on some other planetary surface? and then get thrust into space, typically by subsequent meteor impacts that
and we're the crazy ones.
Fling rocks to escape velocity. Because if the surface of that planet is teeming with life, as the surface of Earth currently is, then there could be stowaway life in the nooks and crannies of these rocks. And these rocks would travel through space for hundreds, maybe thousands of years before.
All I hear is anything but God, anything but God. Also, notice if the question is how did life start on Earth? It started somewhere else. The question then becomes how did life start on that planet? And then you need, just like the guy defending the water comet theory, needs a delivery system of water on that thing. And all you get is hopscotch abiogenesis. That's what I call it. Hopscotch abiogenesis.
Before they find a place to land. If any of those trajectories crosses Earth's orbit, for example, if it's blown off of Mars and one of these rocks goes towards the inner solar system where Earth's orbit is.
See what I'm saying? Earth, which is perfectly made for life, with all the proper things for life, everything is perfect for life. He's like, well, they went from is there life on Mars to maybe Mars is the start of life. Wild.
There's a
just wild. Brady says, I am with the JTB Bureau. Okay, thanks. I thought you meant Justified True Belief. Everyone pay your jort taxes or face the consequences. Please, we also have armed employees. Yeah, we'll kick you right out of here. So add to the tax, okay? It's not much. Helps a lot. Helps a ton, and it's not much.
Likelihood it would land on Earth.
Ooh.
If any of those microbes survive that trip, then you have traveled microbial life from one planet to another in our solar system. There's a word for that.
Panspermia.
Did he say fling rocks? I'm liking what I hear.
That's
more
right.
so what I smell.
Yeah, exactly. Someone say fling rocks?
Panspermia.
Spermia.
If you want to get really precise, it's like lithopanspermia, where litho is the geologist word for rock. So it would be life forms stowing away in the nooks and crannies on rocks. So here's how evolution works. If you didn't
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
otherwise know.
Bro, why is your face like that, dude? What is wrong with you? How did your face get like that?
So here's how evolution works. If you didn't otherwise know, no organism adapts.
See, they can't even keep their shit together, honestly. They really can't. He has to smell so bad. He must you know what? He looks like he smell like his breath would be like wine and milk mixed.
To anything. It either has built in the capacity to survive a change to its environment or not.
Well, that just ends evolution altogether. If it's already built in, then there's no such thing as a random mutation, bro. No such thing as a random mutation. If it's built in, its adaptability is built in, then it has purpose.
Usually not. So most species that have ever lived on Earth are now extinct because they did not survive whatever was necessary to pass through the next portal in the ecosystem that they were delivered. So
why do they all look like this? Gravios. How would they survive for thousands of years on a rock hurtling through space with no atmosphere? Yeah, it makes no... Dude, you got to be a lunatic. You have to be... Look, any view that rejects God ends in lunacy. Oh, it's just there were stowaways on a lifeless planet, but it had life, but it didn't have everything, the precondition for life, but it was a stowaway, and it flung itself onto a planet that's perfectly suitable for life, but has no life. That makes sense. So a planet that's not suitable for life has life, and the planet that is suitable for life got its life from a planet that's unsuitable for life. Yeah. Amazing.
So who survives? In any generation, there's variation. Some are taller, some are shorter, some can survive severe conditions, others can't. Usually it doesn't matter. But if the conditions change, only some of them walk through, and the rest die. So evolution is a giant killing machine, because no organism lives or dies in vain. The ones that live survive to tell another day.
See, it's like perverse martyrdom. Evolution has its theistic takes, not necessarily Christian, but derivative of Buddhism. It also has a type of Gnosticism built in, where if you follow evolution to its end, you get to transhumanism, and then you escape the death machine called the environment, right? Very Gnostic in that sense, that the earth and the constraints of the earth and the events, they're all against us, and progress is working against nature, that there's a dialectic between man capabilities, like ascension is defeating nature, and they see nature as death. And a Christian wants to defeat death too, and nature is reflective of the symptom of the fall, introducing death. But we defeat death in one way, in a spiritual way, and they defeat death in a different way. So evolution is death. Death is defeated by evolution. The adaptation is a sort of an apotheosis type of fight. Like you're leveling up, you're gaining so much function that you're able to dominate your environment and always escape the cascade and waves of death coming. And it's like they call us the death cult. They call Christianity the death cult. I think he's wearing a yarmulke. No, I saw that. When he turns to the side, there's a bowl behind him or something. That's funny, though.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
Well, if you survive space, that's not just, we have a drought this summer or a little cold this winter, or no, space. If you survive space, well, what goes on in space? Well, it's really cold. And then as you plunge through the atmosphere to the planet you're visiting, it gets really hot.
It's just unbelievable. The kind of storytelling it's like shameless. This is like Warhammer Fantasy. Planet has suitable life, but Space Frog comes and their lizard army changed the world and giving what? Yeah. Christopher Scott, $5. Was it just me, or did he just say things don't adapt, but they have a built-in capability to change? Yes, that's adaptation. Yeah, that's right.
And while you're in,
or maybe he's trying to make a distinction between. No, adapt would be react too. I was going to say maybe there's a distinction between react and adapt, but nope. I tried to give him a loophole, but
between planets, you're subject to intense radiation.
Bro, who's doing your animation?
Fields, high energy radiation fields.
Was that a piece of your hair? Would you snip a piece of your afro?
Fields from the sun. When I say radiation, I mean of any kind.
If you were to go, there's literally no difference between that thing and his hair. On the other side of this thing is his giant black face.
From the sun? When I say radiation, I mean of any kind. Light is radiation. All right, we don't think about it that way, but the electromagnetic waves are all radiation. Only some of which are damaging to life. You have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and then you have ultraviolet that can make you blind. It can also
And then you have trans kids. Ooh.
Give you skin cancer. Then you have X-rays. That gets into your DNA. Then you have gamma rays. Yeah, it's bad as you go to these higher energy waves.
But we did it in 1969 with very minimal technology.
Space is full of those waves. We are shielded here on Earth's surface because primarily our ozone layer is 3 oxygen atoms bound together that eats high energy radiation from the sun. How does it eat it? It absorbs it, kicks one of the oxygen atoms away, and so the light energy, the radiation energy, converts to kinetic energy.
Oh, my nigga.
And it disappears. So we are safe here under this blanket that we call our atmosphere. All right, so now we're moving between planets.
And so the life that you're arguing gave us our life is not actually protected by any of that, but makes its way to us.
And we have a whole generation of microbes. They all have their own variations within themselves. I'm going to expect most of them are going to die because they have no history handling high radiation exposure.
See, that's the thing. The thing that you say has high level of experience with radiation would also need to come from a place where they didn't also. You see what I'm saying? It's always the same problem every single time. You just have to listen to what they're saying. They're like, well, this microbes didn't practice. They didn't have any practice. Okay, well, now you're saying the same thing. There's a different group of organisms that you say have the practice, but they have to come from a place where they didn't have the practice too. So it's like all they do is grant themselves capability of life doing things, even though they hold a view that the capabilities needed to be evolved. And it's all accidental. Accidental evolving. Accidental. 2 more fivers, y'all, in 3 minutes. 2 more fivers. Come on, $5. Not much. It's a coffee. It's a bone pen. It's a coin that gets smushed with a dinosaur on it at the museum.
The species, but individually they can vary. And individually, some would have more resistance than others. Whoever survived has the capacity to sustain high temperature, low temperature, suspended animation. There's no water out there. An interplanet.
Oh. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Did he just say there's no water out there? Hey! Where's Reclaimer? Reclaimer. Paging Reclaimer. Reclaimer retard. Paging Reclaimer retard. One of your prophets just said there's no water out there. Paging Reclaimer. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Christopher. And that was all accidental. Okay, Neil. Okay to Shmush Dash. Cool story, Shmush Dash, man. It's just unbelievable. They don't know what they believe. It's really simple. They don't like that Christians know what they believe. Now, they don't like what Christians believe also, but they certainly don't like that there's a group of people who are dogmatic with what they believe. These people aren't. They don't even know. Unbelievable.
Planetary space. You have to do this.
Remnant said he was my favorite. Thanks, Remnant. Remnant just started streaming. I think he's going to do exceptionally well. He's just got that kind of it's like half autistic voice to him. He's very clear in his speaking, very distinct. He also did something really, really cool with his, the way he streams. He doesn't show his face, but he built a really nice looking visual, and he animated like a guy sitting there with like a helmet on, but he has like these really fun, unique animations that the guy does, but it looks unique. It's not like slop. So I think, and his first live stream, he had like 300. He held 300 people, his first live stream. So that's a good indicator. Now he has a big channel, like over 100,000. So that's a fun time to start live streaming for sure. 100,000 people. But yeah, I think he's going to do good over there. Majort taxes, thank you so much. Government, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Maybe YouTube does, though. You know, out of your $10 that you give, 3 goes to YouTube. That means part of that goes to Somalians. So it's tough business. Little off topic, Eli says, but can you briefly expound on how the School of Emergentism defeats physicalism, mind emergent property? It's not. It could go into physicalism. I know that Father Deacon Ananias has done some coverage on this better than I could ever, but I critique it from a similar attack point, which is an emergent property, which is like something that gets produced by chance it's novel. It's a novel thing that comes out of a lower ordered system. It's like a lowered ordered state, but the thing is like the organized higher level, lower level, that's all arbitrary from that view. You know, because then you'd say, well, how do you get the lowered state versus the higher state you call emergent of the lower state? And it'd be like, well, the lowered state is an emergent property of a lowered state, and you just go all the way down. So it's like autonomous, like it has to be ground up, built up, as opposed to top down. That's one critique of it. 2 is when a system, let's say when they say emergent property, the brain, emergent property, under a physicalist view, that emergent property called the mind can't be a universal reference. Like you can't use the term mind for that because it's very peculiar to just that brain, just that one brain that does a thing, just the one brain. So that's an attack on physicalism right there, which is like it leads ultimately, Eli, to nominalism. And nominalism ends up being the proper philosophical attack against naturalism and physicalism altogether. There's not many, look, there really isn't many views you can posit that when you press them on epistemology and ontology specifically, not to be confused with epistemological, it all falls apart. That's why you get people, you know, physicalists, Leo Filius, him saying knowledge just doesn't exist. It's a fiction.
For centuries, maybe even millennia. And you have to survive intense radiation from the sun.
Ooh.
Here's an interesting fact. We learned a few years ago from the research of...
Speaking of surviving the sun, have you ever seen me in a Speedo?
Of Marta Cortesau at the University of Porto in Portugal. She did a good experiment. She said, let's test this space hypothesis on one of the hardiest life forms we know here on Earth. What would that be? Mold. Mold grows everywhere. In some municipalities, maybe all, you can't get a loan, a mortgage to buy a house unless it's inspected for mold. Mold behind...
Played any fighting games? Not really. I'd probably play some old ones like Toshinden Battle Arena would be really cool. I doubt that's on Steam, but maybe. I know there are emulators that have cool games like that. I'm into shooting games and sports games, pretty much. Josiah Eliron, 10 buckaroonies. Welcome into the church, our new brother in the church, Snagglebees. Glory to God, Snagglebees, who was received into the church earlier today. How beautiful is that, you guys? How beautiful is that? Shout out to Snagglebeast. Everybody who's talked to Snagglebeast, anyone who's Orthodox, who helped him along. Of course, glory to God. But, you know, it's amazing what people can do.
Behind the walls, behind the wallpaper, in nooks and crannies of the house. Mold thrives.
Ooh.
And it was recently revealed that there's mold on the internet.
Ooh. Man, nigga. This guy sucks. I'm so glad that these people are aging out. You know what I mean? It's like no one even cares anymore, dude. I'm not even that worried because, like, who are the people listening to him still? Honestly, I don't know who they are. I don't know who's listening to these people. Oh, you guys want to hear something idiotic? These two bozos.
Just in general, you can network with people on that night, right? And so, but the $80 is for the Alabama barbecue and the drag show, the social.
These fucking people. Oh, you're collecting money for a drag show? This is what the atheists have going on. This is what they replace church with. Fucking people. Oh my gosh. Just get it. Just stop. Just stop it. Stop it. I do. That's live too. I just tuned in just in that second. He's like, well, if you pay $80, you go to a drag show. Okay. All right. That's enough. That's enough, internet. I'm good. I'm doing okay. What's this?
We'll be testing the boundaries there, as they have been. And the proof is in the writing from the Chinese Communist Party. They write white papers on this stuff. They write white papers.
Wait a second.
On
who is that guy? Wait a second. Did Johnny Depp become a live streamer? Hold on a second. Oh, my girlfriend shit in the bed. I like to be a pirate. Some people call me an actor, but I've proven that I could be a musician too. But now I want to be a live streamer. Let's talk politics. What's that guy up to?
On the Caribbean.
Honestly, I can't really listen to it. I mean, he's getting a lot of FaceTime, but I can't really listen to his voice for too long lately. It's very it's getting up there for me in the you know what I mean? Oh, there's this guy. The worst.
Blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving and honor and power and might be unto our God forever and ever. Amen. And may our
This guy's the worst, man. The Christian King.
Lord Jesus Christ come back soon. Amen. We will see y'all.
Is that it? No. Well, Ben Thorpe has been jumping on. Oh, this can't be good.
Corinthians chapter.
Let me read it. Let me read it. John.
Oh gosh. Oh man.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, John chapter 3, John chapter 4. Okay. And then we're told in, I believe it's 2 Corinthians chapter 6 by Paul, what exactly that means of the Spirit. But
I'm a baritone. Yeah, I run a counter-Orthodox Catholic channel, and I go by the Christian King. Yeah.
Start in John 3 and John 4. But brother,
yeah, dude. It's just the same nonsense. This guy, like, it's so embarrassing. But sometimes it'll be live, and I'll just peek over and just see what kind of nonsense is going on. And lo and behold, there's Ben Thorpe.
what I'm telling you to do is if you.
I don't think anyone claims to be historical that this actually happened. I mean, they're all clearly sort of.
They're exaggerations for sure.
Like I don't think anyone says like this happened in this year. It's all like,
for instance, like the Mahabharata was a.
Oof. Someone kill me. This guy got destroyed in your Discord earlier, John Schoolboy. Oh, he came into my Discord? Yeah, I wish. I imagine Schoolboy would give him a what for, yeah. Yeah, he tried to do a review of me once, and I was waiting for some good arguments, and it was like, literally everything was, read the Bible. Just read your own Just read your own interpretation. It's clearly right here. It says what I think. Clearly. I'm like, okay, this is getting low tier. It's getting bad. All right. Aaron Ra on rationality. Oh, what is he? I didn't know he debated Aaron Ra. What's this?
Debate, and every debate that's ever been on modern day debate. It makes way, way, way more sense to me if we're using faculty that have some other origin other than just mindless processes and particles in motion. It looks to me like something else is going on here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, David, get him. Get him with the hammer.
That I don't have a problem
David, bring the hammer down.
understanding how population mechanics can lead to incidental appearance of design, because it just naturally would. I never had a problem understanding that.
It just would. This fucking lizard guy. Unbelievable.
Believers constantly have this issue. Everything Aaron just said was, according to naturalism, a direct result of cause and effect. Why should we take anything he says seriously? Why should you take anything I'm saying seriously? This debate and every debate that's ever been on modern day debate, it makes way.
Yep. People should really stay honed in on this, because the moment you're debating someone and they believe that, you just got to just stay on it. You know what I mean? You just stay right there. You just stay right there. Don't let them leave. Don't let them. Keep them right there. I actually wonder where that went. I wonder where that part went, because he can't. What would he say to that? Honestly, is gravity even real? Is gravity real, you guys? Look, remember Reclaimer at the beginning of this video was yelling at me for questioning gravity? Look, they're all the best scientists are discussing it.
Truly a force.
Ooh.
Is it truly a force, or is it just the bending of time itself?
Bending time? What? Bending time? What the?
Okay, now, so clocks tick more slowly as they are closer to objects.
A clock isn't time. Oh my gosh. So a clock is time?
With more mass, right? Okay, so if we look at a flat space-time...
We're all lunatics.
...graph, okay? So it's just two axes. All right.
Dude, what is his style he's doing? With the shirt under the shirt with the rolled up sleeves, but there's a shirt and a suit shirt under the shirt, endlessshirts.com.
And on the space axis, we take Earth and we shrink it down so it's just a one-dimensional flat.
Yeah, let's just look at help for articulating a view. So the mind must be immaterial because it too deals with the immaterial. Yes. Well, the thing is, like, put it this way. There's no aboutness in hard reality. Okay. But if the mind is granted, which the atheist, the materialist says, oh, no, I have the ability to evaluate things. You're getting into aboutness. But the thing is, they believe whatever the mind is actually purely material. There can't be any aboutness about it, about your material mind. Right? Now you need something that's not that to talk about that. So you got that, and then you got about that. Under physicalism, there's no about that. You can't have aboutness in material, in the actual material itself. So it's a big problem. Now, it's the same argument I run with physical events are not truth-apt. They just happen. You can't call a physical event true or false. It just occurs. There's just an event. But if they agree with that premise, which they have to, then evaluations are also physical events that are just their brain. That's just their brain, another event. And then the conclusion is their own evaluations can't be true because they're just events. There's no aboutness. There's no truthfulness of a grass. There's no true grass. There's no false grass. None of that exists. So,
Earth, which some people actually think is the case. Yeah, idiot. Anyway, I take that back. You're not an.
And then that's another part. Yeah, Brady, that's another big problem, that they can't have universals because everything is a nominal particular. One brain, another brain. There's no universal brains. There's just particulars. A mind? No. Nope.
An idiot. You just do.
And this is connected, by the way, to the theme lately is evolution. It still applies because there is no universal human being category. There's nothing like that.
Stupid. I'm sorry. That didn't come out right either. Anyway.
No way for that to come out right.
Oh, these people suck. I can't even bear it. I'm trying, but I can't. I tried so hard to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think I'm reaching that limit where I can't tolerate it. And good, we should practice not tolerating things. Don't confuse patience and intolerance, okay? I don't know where the line is, but it's there. Dreams are as true as real life, yeah, under that view. And so are all propositions because they exist. If something's true for merely existing, then all propositions are true, which is a really fun trap I've run on people. Where they'll go, well, no, it's true. That's a real hurricane that exists. Oh, it's true because it exists? Yeah, it's true because it exists. Cool. So all propositions are true. Okay. All right. How's the storm going? Still dumping on people? Is it dangerous? Is it bad? Are people dying? What's going on? Where do insects go in winter? That sounds cool. There's this chick examining origins. Nonsense. Human evolutionary timeline shifts again. I bet she's getting roasted. That's interesting. Aaron Ra Kenthoven, 7 years ago. Nice. Nice. Define freezing, yeah. Internet is kind of dead, yeah. It's a little bit. You know what's not dead? And I'm going to work on it later today. You guys know what it is? Can you guess? Can you even guess it? Yeah, that's right.
Savage Carnage Unlimited Debate.
Austin, you available a little bit? You're going to start in the next... Yeah, I need Austin. I need you. Maybe hit me up on Discord and someone else. I think I asked Extanglia. I'll check in with him. I need 2 stand-in bozos. Tony and I need 2 stand-in bozos to tech the. We gotta make sure we didn't destroy the technology, and it's too powerful to build up back up. We need to test it out for my scuds. So that's that. That's that. I don't know. I really don't know, actually. Justin, half black Justin. Okay. Well, whoever's responsive. I don't even know if Tony's awake right now. How late did he go last night? With Dane, Alabama, Arkansas. What's Scuds? It's a new debate show right here on Made by Jim Bob that's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. Have you ever reviewed Pelagia? Yeah, he doesn't respond to me. So, that's pretty annoying. They're just like, they're all too wimpy. You know, I'm like a little vicious rabid pit bull, so they're just like, yikes. Yikes. Oh, great. This chick. She started her own channel? Oh, we're all screwed. Hi. I'm going to really do myself up for an atheist channel.
But I absolutely believe in religious freedom. I think people should have the freedom to believe in and worship.
And question, and everything is upward inflection because I'm a woman talking about things, and up, and away we go.
What they choose. Now, what I don't believe that they should be able to do is use that religion as an excuse or justification to control and harm others.
Oh no, you have opinions about things? Who cares what you think?
If your religion tells you that on Thursday evenings you can only eat popcorn, then go for it. That's on you. If your religion tells you that you can't let anybody else eat popcorn on Thursday nights because it goes against what you believe, that's going to be a problem.
Oh, there goes child sacrifice in religions, lady. You didn't really think this through, did you? Did you? You didn't really think this through. You thought about your hair. You thought about what makeup to use. You thought about revealing one shoulder. Ooh, one shoulder. I got both shoulders out. Oh, I'm sorry. So you believe... So if someone believes in doing all sorts of crazy shit from their theological view, you just let that go?
Your religious freedoms end at the point
religious freedom
that someone else's begin. And
well, that's actually not true.
If everyone practiced their faith in that way, if people were content to just have their little personal traditions and rituals and leave others alone.
That's a religious belief, okay? You're in a performative contradiction. You ditz. You have a religious belief about religious beliefs and what limits religious beliefs. That's your religious belief that you're willing to use force on others to maintain.
Including children, then I wouldn't ever say
She shoulder mogged me with one shoulder.
A word about religion as an atheist. And there are some amazing religious people that are like that. They view faith as something deeply personal that is between them and themselves and nobody else.
That's not true because we vote based on our beliefs, so it has to do with other people.
Fortunately, that is not true across most evangelical Christians. It's in the name. Evangelical comes from this idea that you're called to evangelize, which means to go out and get others to practice your same faith. Or
what are you doing on your channel right now but getting people to believe what you believe? You witch. Go eat a burger. Both of your shoulders are out. Cool. Where are they? No, they're getting bigger, Max. You'll see. This year, today.
Religion. And there are some American evangelical Christians that practice something called dominionist theology. Some of them call it that, some of them avoid calling it that, but I'll tell you what it is. In short, it is the idea that Christians are called to rule and reign, to dominate over culture, over society, over the world.
That's cool. Do you believe secularism should do that? Why would you have a belief and not believe also that that belief should be multiplied? Like, does that make any sense? Like, who holds dearly to a belief, wholly to it? They live their life according to it. They vote based on it, and also holds the belief that, well, also, I mean, you know, I really believe what I believe is really good for the world and for me, but I also, but I would never believe that other people should hold the same beliefs. I mean, that would be crazy.
They get this from different
Culture cats. I don't like Jar Jar Binks. Okay, not at all. Culture cats, not at all.
Bible verses.
I don't even like the rebellion. I think they're all a bunch of hippies. I think they're bestiality people. Like they're all weird. They're trying to blur the line between robot and man, whereas the Empire, they treat their robots like robots. They don't give them this, oh dear, oh, I want to get some tea. I want to get some tea. Oh no, oh no. They're not all bitchy. Darth Vader, if he saw one of their robots all flinging their wrist around like that, prissing around, prancing, space junk. Right into space.
Why do you talk like that?
Oh no. Oh, Luke. Oh no. We're doing a robotic gay parade. They're shutting us down. Uh-oh.
Is that have led them to believe that they should be the kings and queens of Earth.
Who cares? That's their arbitrary belief there, lady. Promise. Is your real name Promise? It can't be. They really believe. Who cares? That's their arbitrary belief. How could it be wrong from an atheist view? Like, if they do that, they win. They win the game, okay? They win the atheist game. Totally arbitrary. Look, this is what's crazy about atheism. Here's Promise Backlund saying, you know what? I am totally fine with you guys believing what you want, but here's where I put a wall up. And it's like, okay, let's take theism out of it, okay? Let's pretend there's an atheist. I don't know. We could call him Joseph Stalin. And he goes, hey, I want to do this. I don't know. Let's go to the French Revolution. They were like, listen, let's kill all these people. Let's occupy the cathedral. And let's throw a revolution, including a massive amount of death in a period of time. We're atheists. Look, atheists in the chat, you guys can't actually argue against other atheists. Forget the Christian. Forget the creation tards. Forget all the things you're saying are mythical and archaic and silly to believe in. Forget that. You got a bigger problem. An atheist can't even tell another atheist why they shouldn't just take over society using force. You can't even do that yourselves. Brady Harvey, oh, you mean we need to split our voting from our worldview? Interesting. Also hit that goal. Yeah, exactly. Almost there, halfway there, but whatever. We'll just keep starting the goal if you guys keep failing. We're going to go until we hit a goal. That's the law.
And of course, it is their specific brand of Christian.
Oh no. But I was supposed to go to the Dagobah system.
Christianity, not any other that's supposed to be in charge. For those who want to say I'm just a mean old atheist who doesn't know what she's talking about, one of my family members wrote one of the main books on Seven Mountain Theology. Seven Mountain Theology is the idea that Christians are called to take over or influence 7 different areas of society in order to basically gain control of God's kingdom. Those 7 areas are things like government, education, entertainment, and so on and so forth. One of the most popular names that you might know who is heavily associated with Seven Mountain Theology would be Charlie Kirk. Dominionist theology is also something that we hear a lot of the politicians in the White House right now spouting and supporting. It is behind Project 2025. It is all over the United States of America right now. And again, my problem with it is that it goes against the consent of others.
Oh, really? Look. Here's a simple defeater there, Promise. You're not a good thinker. You shouldn't actually be talking politics or anything. Someone told you you were really smart when they should have just said you're kind of pretty. And what you think is, oh, well, I have a voice now. Well, no, look. If someone doesn't believe in human rights, promise, I don't know if you ever thought past your little pea brain atheist view, but if someone doesn't believe in human rights, which, by the way, the atheist has no justification for, okay? If someone doesn't believe that, guess what? You're in a predicament because you're enforcing using guns and the threat or actualized jail time if they don't abide by your atheistic enlightenment concept of sin. That's what it really is. Rights and the violation of is the secularist, individualist model for sin. That's what a transgression is. And she's pretending that she doesn't do that. Look, here's the common theme. Well, look, I'm totally fine with you believing what you want, but where I draw a line is when you enforce it on other people. Okay. So you have to be doing that. You have to be doing that with rights.
It is authoritarian in nature.
Every ordered society is authoritarian at some level. You can't escape it. If you want an ordered society where Christians can't do things based on their theology, that's authoritarian, you dummy.
Just like most of evangelical Christianity. However, this part of authoritarian Christianity, the dominionist theology, is...
They just don't think. And they're not in a position to think. This is why I tell you guys that atheists, when you go into these like little communities, these sub-communities, they don't actually call themselves out as much. They don't quite debate with each other too much on these fundamental things. And Christians do. People who are self-proclaimed Christians are arguing from an assumed exclusive position. So they butt heads a lot, and they should. But atheists don't. They can't really call each other out on things. It's just this general, like, be a good person, right-wing stuff is wrong, Christian, religious stuff is bad, science good, okay, men could have babies, and then they're good, right? Well, no, you guys just don't. That's it. I mean, you got nothing else to say.
Extremely strategic, and that is what is so terrifying about it.
It's not that. I'm just trying to give her something. I'm just trying to give her something here.
It is a political plan. These are not just your average street preachers who are out there yelling at you that you're going to hell if you don't get saved. These are specifically people that have been training or have children that they've been training to go take positions of power, whether that's becoming a pop star or getting into the White House. Their goal is to get in there and to be able to make very, very, very massive decisions.
Does that not happen under secularism? What is wrong with this bitch? Yeah, that's what everyone's trying to do. Have you seen what most pop stars are? Do you understand that most pop stars aren't, have you noticed that they're not like most of Hollywood, most of entertainment, most of the music industry? They're also key players in pushing culture and policy. I mean, unbelievable. See, that's a problem. It's like her own audience, like, they hate her. No one's correcting her. The atheists don't do any work with each other.
About other people's lives where they do not allow people to have personal freedom and they assert control and authority over them on the basis of religion. It is.
Yeah. Such an easy argument. Secularists, atheists who argue for this kind of position or against that position say, well, no, I'm not assuming that I'm going to use force with my beliefs. And you're like, yeah, you are. There is a religious belief you hold, that is to say a belief without evidence in something that's not empirical, that you're willing to use guns and force to institute in society to the extent that you'll actually throw someone in jail. You guys do that too.
is a movement that is anti-consent and anti-autonomy. What's funny is one of the things that got me to
Autonomy.
realize how evil and terrible this whole plan is when I started comparing it
Oh, evil exists now? Huh. I didn't know evil exists.
to what I had been taught about Sharia law. I had been told that Muslims were
Your secular, yeah. Do you guys remember just 5 years ago when a large portion, now there were religious people too, but the large portion of the entire cover your face, inject yourself with something against your own will or else you get fired? I don't know. Did you forget about that, P-Brain? Promise the P-Brain?
Under her view, we have the right to vote atheism out of the culture and invoke Neo-Byzantium with Tony as the Tsar.
That's right.
Only redeemable quality of democracy is the ability to vote it away.
That's right. Yeah, you just vote it in. It's totally consistent. Now, these people are stuck in their own bubble. This chick would never debate. She would get, like, imagine, like, me or Andrew or even Rachel, you know? This woman would just cry. I bet she would cry. I bet you she would cry.
We're trying to do this exact same thing
P-Brain promise.
to us for the exact same reasons. And while I constantly grew up hearing things about protecting freedom and American freedom, while we talked about protecting Americans from what Islam wanted to do to freedom, I realized evangelicals actually don't want freedom. They
Yeah, that's true.
just don't want somebody else's authoritarianism.
That's true for you too. Notice how she's like almost there, but her little P-Brain just can't get around this. She just can't bridge it. She can't face the fact that you yourself want to limit freedom. And so it's just an argument of who gets to dictate what liberties there are and who gets to dictate what liberties there aren't. It's really simple, descriptively. Super simple.
They want their own. These sort of dominionists don't actually care if you have consent or freedom or autonomy at all. They don't care if women lose rights. They don't care if children lose rights. They don't care if humans lose rights.
Yeah. So, are you making it ethical? Are you making a meta-ethical claim? You'd get, P-Brain, honey, sweetie, you would get completely eviscerated.
They care about being the ones to have power and control. And this co-ops beautifully, at least for a little bit, with people who have similar goals, such as narcissistic politicians or billionaires. So what you end up having are a lot of people maybe on the bottom level of dominionism who genuinely think that God is real, that Jesus is God, and that everybody else should also believe that way, and that they have the best morals and the best standards for society, and that that's why they want to force them on others. And they've probably even convinced themselves that this makes them the good guys, that they actually have the solutions and they're going to help everybody and everything's going to get better because of them. Then you have, usually in leadership, people that are in positions because they really, really like to rule over others. They are power hungry. They also tend to get a lot of money. And sure, a lot of them probably really believe the religious stuff too. But it all just works really well.
This is basically most female video essayists. Yes, it's always the same too. There's a bunch of these people. Who's that one girl with the nose rings? Her own audience convinced her that she should run for office, and she just gave her announcement recently. I forgot her name. She's like maybe an ex-Mormon or something. She's like, now I'm gonna do it, you guys. I'm gonna do it. You know why? Because politics needs really pure people with integrity. They're so naive. They're so insanely naive to the world, the ruthless world, the two-faced, fork-tongued world of politics. They think like, oh, if you just, you know what they need? Some really nice, caring women in politics. Why are you listening to the movie? This is spoiling my hot and fresh dino nuggies. There's not much left that I can take of this.
Well
so.
for them that their religion teaches them that they need to be the guys at the top. But they're not the ones at the top. The ones at the top are the ones who see all of this and say, oh, wow, these people are like sheep. And they will support and back whatever their leaders are telling them to do because they don't follow what is actually true. They don't use critical thinking and skepticism. They follow what fits the narrative of, in this.
Oh my gosh, just prattling and yapping, lady. Yap, 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 yap. Goodness. Oh. It's like as bad. It's like just as bad as like political OnlyFans. Yap, yap, yap. Goodness. And this is also what I think. And you know what else I think? I think this. And you know what it is? They're all trying to get power. And you know what I think? I don't like that. And I was thinking, and what I thought, and you know what else that I thought? That an audience told me that I should say? They want me to say stuff? Just like an edgelord teenager. Yeah, it's so low tier. Going to debate Van Helsink? If he says yes, I told James to reach out. He wants to try to defend evolution against me. Look, if a evolutionary biologist, if that was his performance, that's someone who actually does what they call evolution in the lab. Lizard man. He got nothing. He ain't got nothing. Can we just give each other high fives all day and hugs? I'd rather watch Wicked 2 with my wife. Wow. You know what I just saw yesterday? I saw, well, actually, no, we didn't finish it, so don't tell me. But, what's it called? Rip. It's like about like, you know, federal level corruption when you seize money or drugs or things like this. Kind of intense. So I think that, and I just don't believe that anyone should violate anyone's autonomy except for all the places where I think it's okay. Also, I believe mothers should be able to dissect their babies while they're in the room with tongs and sell their body parts on black market sites. So, anyways, religion bad, atheism good. Anyways, look, she doesn't even live in America. This feminist got married to some, I don't know, Swedish cuck or something who owns, you know, property off in the beautiful hillside of Switzerland or something like that. And she's just living a life on the hills on someone else's dollar and pretending to be a feminist, you know, fighting for people's rights. Oh, this is the chick who announced that she's gonna get into politics. This chick's unbearable.
Christian nationalist home. And although I don't recall hearing the term Christian nationalist growing up, that's what we were.
Oh, your voice is terrible. Can't even make it. I couldn't even make, that was like five. That was like that wasn't even a haiku. Oh, this is the one she's going to do real well. Look, she gets chased out.
Channel 3 years ago to help people who were questioning their religious beliefs, to help them think more critically, to feel empowered, and to feel as though they had a choice in their own path in life. And although this channel stayed mostly apolitical in the past, organize meetings, build community, start peaceful protest, and confront authority unapologetically. You watch me get louder and bolder and more persistent in my resistance.
It's like we're what we're witnessing in the West, and by the way, it's not peculiar to women. It's happening with men. Is like frozen neoteny. That's what it is. Frozen neoteny. It's like this is the voice and the being and the energy of a 16-year-old girl who's like, and daddy, and I no longer listen to him, and I'm my own woman now. And I'm fierce and I'm loud and I'm ready to change the world. And you're like, you're so delusional. And you're gonna, this is the chick who's like, now it's the time that, like, talk about narcissism, right? They always use these terms. I'm making a big announcement. I am going to go into politics because that's what politics needs. More mouthy ladies who don't use reasoning.
Beginning.
Yeah, and then she cries when she gets kicked out of her protest or whatever.
From the inception of this channel, from the beginning of my life, I have been told that what I truly believe, what I think, what I feel, my intuition,
feel.
that it can't be trusted.
Yeah. You feel things. Yeah, you feel things.
That it's wrong. And so many people have tried to dissuade me from following my heart and my intuition.
Oh, gosh.
And that worked for a very long time in my life. But now...
Me, my life. And me. And the world is going to be better when I focus more on me. I'm a hen, and I'm done with this hen house. I am ready to share my feathers with the world and cluck, cluck, cluck till the cows come home. I'm going to cluck my way right into clucky Congress. No one's going to stop me. I've seen every movie. I've seen every Pixar movie. And by golly, I'm going to do it.
I realize that the more I listen to myself and trust
myself, trust me, myself,
trust
myself and me internally, me and me. And I'm going to be just listen to me.
And honoring my values and having integrity for them, the more confident I feel that the path I'm following is the right one.
Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like the West has turned into a giant Montessori school. You know those free-range schools? Where it's like, child leads everything. Just child-led everything. Oh, he wants to touch that? That's fine. Child-led. Oh, look at him. He's got his penis out. Child-led. He's learning. That's how he's learning. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He's running out in the street. Oh, look at that. He's really interested in that giant moving truck and the wheels. Wheels on the bus go.
And I resisted this for a long time.
Oh, you resisted it, but now you overcome your own resistance. Triumph, glory, triumph, winning. All the single ladies. Fucking delusional. Zero reasoning. All feeling. All your feelings. What you think about yourself. All internal. All about you. These people are sick. And they're led by really weak men. This guy, whoever her husband is, this is awful.
A lot of people ask me to run. You guys have been putting it in the comments.
Yeah. See? Putting in the comments, I should run. I should be in politics because I talk a lot. My journey to talking a lot on the YouTubes has led me to the conclusion that I should be in politics because of you guys, the YouTube comments. And by listening to myself, I mean really listening to you. You've been like a jukebox to me. Look at her dreaming of her glory. Me and me, oh my. Look at her dreaming of her first speech at a podium. Look at her. Look at her. Look at that. Look at her dreaming away. And boy, oh boy, am I ready.
I've had so many of my community members encouraging me to consider.
Are you crying?
It. And for a long time, I said, absolutely not.
But I overcame that because I'm doing what's good, and by golly, I'm going to win it. I'm going to win it, and I'm going to free all of you slaves.
But one day I woke up and realized that the people who are so hesitant and resistant to take on these roles are probably the people that should be taking on these roles.
You know those people who are hesitant to commit crimes? Those are exactly the types of people who should just overcome that impulse and just commit the crime. You see, we need more rationality and reasoning in politics. And I just showed you some of my own. So that's what I realized. I had my epiphany. And I realized that I'm going to do more me stuff.
And I want to show America and show my district that there is a better way.
There is.
That a government can be run by the people for the people. That there is power in our numbers. That we
Just say bananas and rice. Get it over with.
have collective power.
She thinks she's being altruistic. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a feeling. It's like, by golly, I felt it. I woke up and I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it today.
With our collective voice. And that we can change the system so that we actually trust our government because we are our own government.
Oh my gosh. Look, oh my gosh. I mean, who is the man in your life allowing this to happen? We can trust our government because we are the government. It's just like, I've noticed that when a worldview is almost made up of wholly of being anti-something, particularly God and orthodoxy, then it leads to incoherency and a bad case of spiritual delusion. Yeah, purely. It's certainly a religious belief that's in play.
And although I have no desire to work as a politician, I am not aiming to do that. I don't want to be a politician, and I refuse to be. I will not change myself to get votes. I will move forward with my values that I have stated clearly here on this channel and fought for.
You fought for? You mean yapping? What are you talking about fought for? What are you talking about? You're in a meadow. You have a Patagonia jacket on. You fought for? And I fought for it, and I yapped about it, and I yapped, and I yapped, and I groveled, and I begged, and I pointed at people and said, you're wrong. And I fought for this YouTube position.
I will be unapologetic in where I stand.
I promise I'm going to advocate for new lockers. The boys' bathroom is usually missing toilet paper. I'm going to advocate for a little more funding for the high school prom. And by golly, our halftime shows at varsity basketball is going to be lit. Vote for me. It's like, look, lady, you're like reliving a high school fantasy that never happened. You're a yapper. Here, you want to help society? Have some children, lady. Take the nose rings out. Have some children. Raise good children.
And what I want for my future and for my
what I want?
Neighbors.
Your neighbors? Yeah, not your kids, right? Because you don't have kids. You probably have some dogs, though. What I want? And I'm going into this based what I want. And my wants and needs will be the leading carrot on the stick. And what I'm feeling right now, I'm about to cry, you guys. This is like such a big moment for me. Oh, I can barely get through this. I'm surprised I'm getting through this. Oh.
I will listen to the people of my district. And I will empower them so that they can feel as though
Feel more feelings, fucking feelings, all the fucking way down. And if we can just have a government of feelings and a constituents that also have feelings, I'm thinking that we can feel our way to the top.
they have a say in their future. And that's what we need right now. Thank you to everyone who has stuck with me throughout this journey, this wild journey.
Ooh, the journey! What I'm feeling and what I want right now is fulfilling the journey that I've been on, that I've been empowered on this journey. And I'm ready to get up on my pony.
And know that I'm still going to be here. Like I said, I got to pay my rent. It's going to be a busy year. And most of my focus will be on my campaign. But this channel...
I can't wait. I'm going to be the nagging, brutal comment. I'm going to treat her like she's at Congress level. I'm going to treat her, I'm going to focus in on this lady in particular, like she is already well known. She's like worldly known. That's what I'm going to do.
Is important. There is a reason I have never fully walked away from it. There's a reason that I keep coming back even when I think maybe I just need to quit and go move to the middle of the woods and ignore everything.
But that time is over, and I'm going to fight for your right to feel. You get a feeling, and you get a feeling, and everyone gets a feeling. Outrunning HVAC service calls, stopping in to pay my Jort tax. God bless you. Yeah, 4 minutes left, y'all. See if you guys can help me out. Let's do this. Come on, 4 minutes, 4 fivers, okay? Get me to the 10 at least. Let me finish on a success. So please, you guys, I've been doing this for a couple of hours now, and you've supported me in this journey, but I would really appreciate it if you can consider my feelings and get me to that 10 mark. There's only 4 left, and it's only $5 to get there. So, yes. Here we go.
Because
thank you
I want all
much.
of us to be active and engaged.
Thank you so much.
I want all of us to be thinking more critically,
3
to be
more.
open and honest with ourselves, to deconstruct all of the things that we were taught to believe growing up in the church and in this society.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you. I'm going to make your life miserable. This is what you think runs the world? Do you think the world operates like this, lady? You don't have a damn chance in hell. This is how you think the world operates?
What I really want to do is get into politics, and I really want to help deconstruct people's feelings and do a lot of struggle sessions and get to the root of their pain. And then, only then, will we rise to the top and do what's right for a multiplicity of incongruent beliefs and incompatible cultures. And that's what I'm going to promise to do, and that's what I'm going to do, and no man's going to stop me.
And to change our future so that we can thrive and find life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness every single day for every single person. I truly believe
Amen.
in that. And
Votech. Oh, what an ugly name. Vote Christy Burke. Oh my, are you kidding me? You already got a website up? You know where I'm going. Vote Krusty Burke. Oh, I can't wait to I can't wait to see this. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Lady. Oh, so much work. So much. It's just donate Christy for Congress.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. Oh, my gosh. It's just unbelievable. What a terrible thing we've done. Those suffragettes. You guys did you guys did a bad thing for women. You did a bad thing. You told a big old bad lie. Really not good. Not good. Not good. Thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much. Check back with her. Oh, I'll check back with her. That's just like a couple days ago. She's got this site up. I'm sure she's going to lose, maybe siphon, 15 grand maybe? She'll get a quick 15 grand in like 2 months. Donate. Recently discovered this channel. Thanks, Jim Bob, for your great discussions with LDS. I was a 7th generation. Wow. That's crazy. 7th generation. That's harder to get out of. Good on you. Dear God, Tennessee, they're everywhere, Red Fox. They're everywhere. Honestly, it's nothing against women, but where there are women and where they could become politically active, this is mostly going to be their angle for the most part. vote, Queen Votek. She was inspired by Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah, I mean, that was really it. It was like everything a woman saw in like Madonna as like an icon, or saw in someone else. Like politics is like the new pop star for women. And all the pop stars that were pop stars, for, they were in whether it's music or something else, they become activists anyway. And I'm going to do this, and we're going to do it right. Health is a right, not a privilege. Yeah, exactly. They're privileges, yep. It's sick. But they don't have much to stand on. It's like they're so delusional that look, she's going to find out real quickly that the things don't work that way. Nothing works the way she thinks it works. It just doesn't. But, she's gonna do it. She's gonna be a yappy. She's gonna keep on yapping. And that's what she's gonna do. All right. It's 3:30. I gotta run. Thanks for the time. Thanks for hanging out. Go make sure you go visit Reclaimer77 and give him a couple comments on his fantastic assessment. Maybe we could finally get him to debate me. That would be funny. I don't care if you have 17 people. I honestly don't care. If you have, look, now you have 25 because of me. You started with 3, you got 17, and now you have 25 because of me. So, you're welcome. Crazy. All right. Who do you guys want to see? Where do you want to be this Saturday? There's plenty of people to see today, talking into their microphones. To all the people home alone. Who do we got? Who is live? We got like one Jedi. Rob J. Thorpetube. No. Answers in atheism. All right. You guys go over Jay. It's dumb. It's almost like Megan from the Key and Peele Skeeps. Megan.
Fearless Truth. Who's Fearless Truth? Actually, I do need some visibility in some other places. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's do that. I need to cross-pollinate, you guys, okay? Okay? Please understand, okay? All right. Well, you guys have a blessed Saturday. If you're Orthodox, obviously go to liturgy tomorrow. If you're not, go check it out. You're missing out. Come see. Another announcement. You guys will see. Maybe we'll get them in like a couple days or something. But Meg Bob and I scurried our butts into action and made a 7-sticker package that's Orthodox inspired, and they're really cool. I'm very happy with them. And you know, my previous stickers and memes would kind of like poke fun at other people. This one is probably the first sticker pack that's inspired and toward something that's really good, and the designs are really fun and pretty, but like unique. So I'm pretty excited to share them with you. When they get here, I'll let you know. There's going to be a limited run at the first time because we wanted to sample them. We wanted to see the quality of them and stuff. But we'll let you guys know when the sale of those go up. I'm sure they're going to be grabbed up real quick. But I just want to give you guys a heads up to look out for it, okay? With that, wait, he is EO? I didn't know he was EO. That's good to know. I didn't know. Good. I hope he's working on Big John Steele, who I really want to become Orthodox. All right. That's it for me. You guys are going over there. Much love to you all. Have fun with the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there, and I will talk to you definitely Monday. All right? God bless you all.